Hello, folks. Just wanted to come in here and say hello, see what's going on. We're going to be starting here in about 10 minutes. My name's Rodrigo. I'm going to be here with Nic Chahine, top trader. All right. Top trader at the Benzinga Options Inner Circle chat room. You already know who it is, Nic Chahine. He's going to be here in 10 minutes. We're going to go over a lot of different topics, trade ideas, education, strategies, setups, options education. We're going to drill down on certain sectors, stocks, talk about the macro and the micro. It's going to be a packed session. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. So if you want to hang out here, we're going to be here for about an hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours around there. We're going to be talking about trade ideas, setups, like I said, all that stuff. So just be ready. If you're here to learn, engage, participate, pay attention. I promise you by the end of the session, you will be a much more informed trader, right? And you always learn something from these things, right? Even if it's one thing, but I'm pretty sure it'll be more than one. But yes, we're going to go over a lot of stuff. Engage in the chat. I see there's a lot of people in the chat, so feel free to participate. I am here for you if you have any questions or anything like that. We're going to try to go over as many as we can. At the end of this session, like around the end, around about an hour and 20 minutes in, we're going to take some tickers from the chat. So just make sure that you have your tickers, hold them till the end. We will go over them and we're going to announce it on the session, like, hey, we're going to go over trade ideas and that sort of stuff. So just stick around, folks. 8 minutes and we're going to get started here with Nic Chahine.
Thanks, Ricardo, and welcome everyone to What's New at Zoom. My name is Heidi Elmore, and I'm the head of product marketing.
All right, everybody, welcome to the session here that we have planned for you today. My name's Rodrigo. I'm going to be here with you today. Also, we're going to be here with Nic Chahine, lead trader at the Benzinga Options Inner Circle chat room. That's pretty much where he was at right now. A lot of you guys are asking me, where was Nic? Where basically Nic was in the live trading room. That's where he is Monday to Friday with all the live traders. FYI, couple shout outs here. Greg Mills in the house. What's going on, man? Gregory, James Hip. All right. JB, Kevin Reach, Tony, Sean, Ruby, Ryan. Let's get this thing started. In the chat, let me know when you guys are good to go. But really quick, couple topics that we will be covering so that we're all on the same page. Trade ideas, right? Nic's strategy for options trading, sector scoping, options education, setups for equities, crypto, commodities, buys, sells, charts, technicals, market discussions, a lot of other things. Make sure you stick around until the end. We do have a Q&A and a real-time deep dive view of some of the things that Nic Chahine is posting there for the chat members. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the man himself that everybody loves here in the chat room, Mr. Nic Chahine. And oh, wait, Sean, hold up. Sean, Nic is having a little bit of a technical difficulty here, but he's going to be here in a little bit. Sean Ships, Deborah, we're good to go. Really quick here. I don't know if you guys know, I think he's still in the session. You know what? Maybe we can just pop in there and see what's going on. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong link there. Let's see, Inner Circle chat. So Nic is going to be joining any minute now here. So I think he's just in the session right now. And let's see if we can get in here. 1 second, folks.
I'm here.
All right, guys. So, all right. So we went on a beautiful Easter hunt here and to try to find Nic. And
he's here.
and we got him, right? So I got him live in the chat room. Right. We have him on Zoom. On Zoom. Oh, you got in as soon as I got into the live chat room to look for you there. I swear to
God. I left them because I know I'm hooked up with you and you and I do great work. We have a lot of fun. So let's get to it. Sorry, I'm late, but
yeah, we're good. We're good.
You just this last 2 weeks for good reasons has been very scarce, whatever.
Right.
Being busy is a good thing in this business, and we're helping a whole bunch of people learn some new things and stay out of trouble and dig out of trouble if they get into it before they get to us. So all good things.
Right. And that even happened today. Like I literally I was trading a stock. I popped in there for literally 3 minutes.
I saw you.
And then, well, I mean, I pretty much got rid of that thing with a profit, and thank God, because it did go a lot lower, like you said it would. And I feel a lot better, you know, that
I don't remember the ticker, but I do remember the conversation. It was like 150 something, 154, 155 or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, I was just trading it. So, I mean, and that's the thing, because people that have full-time jobs, you're like, trust me, I'm busy. You know, people have full-time jobs. It takes a couple minutes and that's it. Save you money.
Yeah. I'm trying to start my video and it's not starting for some reason. Cannot start video.
I think you need to hit share, share screen.
Yeah, I can share the screen, but
is that what you mean, or what? You mean like share video?
Let me see here. Zoom always keeps me on my toes. When you have multiple monitors, it's never in one place. It always goes like, where the hell is it? Okay, so where is it now? Am I seeing you in my room or what? Let me see here. Share screen. Is that it? No, that's not it. That's weird. Okay. Where are the controls? I don't know where they are. Let's try it this way. Zoom. Oh, that's why. There we go. Start my video. It's waiting for me to allow it to start my video. No, still not letting me do it. Okay. Zoom. Sell Zoom. Sell Zoom. Short Zoom.
So let's just maybe, so I'm gonna stop. Well, I don't know. I don't want to hit stop share because I don't know if that stop share the stream on YouTube.
I just
or
need to
stop
tell
that.
it. I just need to tell it to get out of exit full screen mode for Zoom
Oh.
because while it's in full screen mode, it doesn't let me to touch it anywhere. So I can share my screen. This will drop the other guy's screen. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement. So Neo. I think this will share a good screen right there. Are you guys seeing Neo right now? Is that a yes? Rodrigo.
Yes.
Okay.
We're good to go. Shab, Abdel, Brian, everybody. Thanks for sticking around here through the Zoom difficulties.
Yep. Okay. So what we are doing is trying to, I want to spread the good word about how to make it easier to trade this crazy market. Now, tell me, show of hands, who's confused about the price action? One day it's up, one day it's down. Friday is up 4%. Today it's all down. But I can assure you that there are ways to mitigate the risk a little bit and feel better about it. Sorry about my camera. I tried to launch it. It wouldn't launch. I'll try again a little bit later. Okay, so it's pretty confusing. One day up, one day down. So yesterday, but this weekend, I was in Vegas in a conference. I had a speaking engagement there, and I got to meet some of you people. Maybe you're here, maybe you're not. But I met some of the members and some prospective members, which are members today. And one of them, I don't know if she's here. I was worried to see, I posted a direct message saying, I just want to make sure to know how she trades in order for me to tailor my words so she can understand what I'm saying. Turns out she already taken 2 trades, one paper trade worth, I don't know, gobs of money because she went big with it and it worked. And the other one was for somebody in her family's account, and it was a quick $600 based on a very simple chart on the SPY today. So we'll just jump into it if you don't mind, Rodrigo. I'm just going to jump into it. So this is the SPY, right? Confusing day, right? So what if I told you I drew lines first thing in the morning that came true like almost 100% by the end of the day? Would that be worth it to you? And then we should just end right here, Rodrigo. We just drop the mic and walk away, because these are the lines I drew live with 250, 270 people, however many people in the room. In the beginning of the day, I drew this white line right there. If you can't see it, I'm going to make it bigger. Okay, this was the white line I drew right here somewhere. I said I would buy the dip somewhere in here. There are buyers. I would stop out if it goes below here. But this might happen today. So if you bought it, you got this peak and then it came back here, you got this peak. In fact, I think I drew it when it was here because I got 2 cave out of it and a 3rd cave. And I said, if they take out the resistance, I said, if they take this out, they most likely would take that overnight high and they will go towards the target. And they almost came to the target completely. But throughout the day, I was updating them. So I would book profit. I had like resistance lines here. You can see them. But this line, I assure you, was drawn somewhere in the beginning of the day. I don't know, maybe within the first 40 minutes of the day. So the whole day was built around this. So we're not winging it. So I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus, but what I'm saying is that the price action, whether on a 1-minute chart, 30-second chart, 1-minute chart, or 1-week chart, is predictable. I'm going to reduce it so I'm not lying after the fact. So the price action is predictable. If you overlay some logic and common sense and some realistic expectations, then you can trade with around a set of circumstances. Now, our circumstances are weird. We haven't had this situation right now. Everything right now is the market. We have Powell speaking again tomorrow. What the hell does he have to say that we haven't heard from him already? Okay, we got it, Powell. You're going to destroy the economy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we got it. You're an enemy. Move on. Do it. Just do it. Stop talking about it. And then you have Bullard talking and 3 more people talking. So like 5 or 6 people in the next couple of days. Okay. Show of hands, who wants to hear that? Not me. So the idea is there's so many outside factors messing up the usual flow of price action that it makes it difficult. So we try to overcome that by coming up with strategies that would survive such whipsaw. And one day Tesla is up 7%, the other day it's down 7%, or whatever it was today. So what the heck does one person do? There are trades that we concentrate on that would allow, they're somewhat elastic. So they would allow room to run if I'm wrong and room to drop if I'm also wrong. So a few weeks ago, I was short Lily. I shouldn't have been, but I was. I was winning, and then it went against me, and then I gave it enough room when I took the short position that I got out of it without any damage. It was a hassle, but I didn't get damaged. So having the foresight to leave room for error makes for an easier trade management style. Now, sometimes you get blown out. There's no way around it, but those are few and far between. So whatever we did here on the 1 minute or 5 minute chart works also on a daily chart. I'll take all these lines out. So somewhere here, that was 2 meetings ago from the Fed. I said, I want to be long into Wednesday from Friday before. I said, I want to be short Friday, Monday, and then I want to be long Wednesday afternoon. And this happened after that Wednesday. And then right around here, I sent out another note saying there's a bearish pattern that showed up that would target, I forgot what it was, 436 or 434. And everybody fell out of bed saying, oh my gosh, 434, what's up with that? So we went to 434, stuttered a little bit, and then the rest is history. We're now in the 380s. All throughout, I've been pointing out the weakness in the charts down to 396, 95, these. When we broke out last year, we did it too much. We did too much too fast. We left too many broken spots. So that's a weakness. You don't build a house on air.
Matt,
So
Nick, really quick here, Nick. Someone's asking, what's the schedule? You're there with people all day, Monday to Friday, sharing your screen like that, right?
Yes. So the schedule is pretty weird. Somebody was asking me today. So they're a little confused because I'm available 24/7 in a chat room. There's a chat room that's open all the time. I answer 24/7. If I see it, I'll answer it. I'm not sitting there waiting for you to type anything, but I check it all day, every day. And then on top of it, I have a whole new area where I'm sharing my screen like you're looking at. This is exactly my screen you're watching, that you would be watching every day, all day, as long as I'm in there. So that new person today was telling me if I had taken a break, and I said, no, not yet. And they thought that was crazy. So the idea is the group that I have is we started the whole group, was it 10 years ago, 11 years ago, which is to find some credit spreads that work for everybody, that are hassle-free, easy to win. And we did that. And then I said, wouldn't it be nice to have a chat room, like a Discord type of a place? Only Benzinga built us one from scratch. So we did that. So that was a static chat room where we can go back and forth. You don't need to send an email. You have a question about a trade, you send it in, you post, I answer. If you have an idea about a trade, you post. And then I said, wouldn't it be great if I can share my screen a couple hours of the day? And here we are. I share my screens, not a couple of hours of the day, all day. So as long as the markets are open, I literally close the room to get out and come here.
No, now when it comes to education, I know that you're the person, the man of the option trades. I understand, but some people don't know, but you go hard on the education as well behind every piece of trade or update that you provide, right?
Every piece. So today, somebody asked me a question in the room today. I don't know if you were there or not. I swear to you, somebody said, how do you use this implied volatility differential? So I went on on the spot lesson on call diagonals. So they said, how can we profit from this high volatility? I forgot what stock it was last week. I think it was a firm. The implied volatility was 600% during the reporting week. So I said, there is no way anybody should be buying anything. You're not going to make money. If you buy calls, you're going to lose money. If you buy puts, you're going to lose money, guaranteed, because the implied volatility is so high that as soon as the stock opens, everything is going to get killed, calls and puts. So the only way to make money is to buy something out in time and sell something expensive during that week. So that's the diagonal. So I went into a whole lesson about diagonals from scratch. So it was like a lesson on the fly. And then before the market closed, we decided I did my thing where people say, hey, what do you think about reporting, companies that are reporting? So I said, okay, take two. So I haven't looked at take two in a while, right? So I went into 5 minutes, earnings after hours. So was it take two? Was there something else? Okay, so my comments for take two, I'll show you my comments to tell you how all the information is in the options. Where are my comments? There it is. So check it out. So take two, I said, here are my comments. TradeEthics is a program, and it said it didn't know. The opinion from TradeEthics, it was bullish, bearish. It was like, okay, thanks for nothing. So I said, we have support at 100. So the stock reported, it went down to 101 and bounced hard. We have support at 100, right? And then I said, there's upside pressure to 114. Boing, to 114. What is that? 114.00? Yeah, pretty much. What was the high tick? 113.99. So I missed it by a penny. So the information is in the options tables. All I do is just see if I can make it work for us. So if I know how to read options to forecast this kind of stuff, and that's not a fluke, it happens often, that means the information can provide a map for us if we study them. So that's the whole thing. How can we as a collective come up with ideas to do this? I promise you, I get at least a dozen ideas a day. What does that mean? Somebody will come in and say, hey, what do you think about this ticker? What do you think about that ticker? Peter today came in, he said, bought something about the USO. Somebody was talking about TQQQ. So we had a whole discussion of the TQQQ and why it is dangerous to do spreads in it, etc. So we had a whole conversation about that. So it's a two-way street. I had a discussion with somebody named Wolf, and it didn't go very well. So we were, debating, and then we ended up just high-fiving at the end, where we had differences of opinion, but we were just talking about different timeframes, turns out. But we hashed it out, and we came up with whatever, how to go forward with the SPY. So we had Tesla debates. Linda was short and long and short and long with Tesla and Google all day. So I'm pretty sure she had a pretty active day. But here was my Tesla chart this morning. First thing in the morning, not first thing, after the drop, I said, this is your base and this is your opportunity, which never came to fruition. They did half of it. And I said, if you lose your base, get out because it's going to here. So, and then it started falling. And I said, don't try to catch a falling knife. It is in a selling channel. And then I widened it later. And that this is the target. And they came to the target once and then twice. And if they didn't run out of time, if they lose this tomorrow, they will come down to the low 700s, which is my comment down here. So this stuff, I added this after the fact, but this was right there from the morning. So and on the rally back, I said sellers, 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 sellers. And look where I put the sellers. Look at that. So these are not after the fact lines. These are as it was rallying, I put that. So we are actively trading for somebody who wants to trade this fast. I'm not that fast, but I do provide minute-to-minute comments. And if you're fast, you can jump in and out based on my comments. I have people in the chat room that are insanely good. Like the Cypher, you don't know him, Rodrigo. This is a different Cypher than you know. He's back. I mean, He's always here, but he has a full-time job, but he's an unbelievable trader. And he shares levels that are almost exactly as mine from completely different perspectives. And when we get both of us coming to the same line, like today, 3876, I don't know how well that ended up being on the S&P futures, how accurate that was. Let me see on the 5 minutes. 3876. We thought that was the must-hold level. Yep, they never, every time they approached it, bounces. Okay, so that's on our radar. So keep that number for tomorrow.
Right. And I mean, just even when I popped in there for I think it was VRM, the ticker, where it was, I told you I was
Vroom, yeah.
I was in at 150, and it's there in the chat room. I told you I was in at 155 and it was at like 170 or 180. And you said it could probably go back there again, or probably a little bit lower. And I was able to take profits in the 170s a little bit there. And then
Absolutely. I think I told you if it
Yeah.
loses this, it's going to go to the 145s or 146. I think I said something like that. So here we are. Let me go to a daily and see. Oh, yeah, you can't see anything from the daily. So we go 2 hours. All right. I said this will be your door to here. So this will be the trigger. You have higher lows, so it's not game over, but it's coming back to base to test the base. So it's not game over. As long as the bulls are doing this, you can pop out of here. So this is a tough business. This is like a Carvana. Unfortunately, they grow fast, but they spend a lot of money to do it. And I don't know if that's sustainable in a rising rate environment. Now, if Powell gets his way, these guys might struggle borrowing money unless it actually burns its own cash. And I don't remember if I did this to see. Sometimes we can tell. Yes, it does. It does not burn its own cash. So this is cash flow from operations. Almost 500, almost 0.6 billion in negative. So they must feed the beast somehow. I'm assuming they need to borrow or dilute their shares. Either way, I don't want to be part of it. So Carvana is the same way, only on a bigger scale. Huge growth, but at what cost? Other companies grow like that, but they're burning their own cash. I'm trying to think of one that does that. Is it Palantir? So let's see here. Palantir loses money, but look, positive 400 million positive in cash flow from their operations. So they burn their own cash to grow. That's smart. That's smart. That is what Amazon did for a decade. And people said, oh, you're losing money. Who cares? They're rebuilding the world.
That's the thing about the inner circle there, Nick, where you also talk about technicals, trading education, options education, but you also get into, some fundamentals with companies when the users ask for it and such.
Yes. Okay. So background on me, in case you guys didn't know, if you've been here with me before, welcome back. I'm an engineer. I figured this stuff on my own. I did not work on Wall Street. I know nobody from Wall Street. I met a few people this weekend, and I definitely don't dress like them. I definitely don't speak like them, but they're nice people. I definitely don't have as many monitors as them. The one guy that spoke in front of me had, I don't know, a wall full of monitors. I'm going to say 30 monitors. No joke. So I definitely don't have 30 monitors. I have 4 monitors basically, and that's plenty. And 3, 1 49-inch and 2 27-inch. So 4 monitors, 27 inches. So it's not, the secret sauce is not that, it's not that it's a magic solution. It's avoiding the mistakes. That's it. If you can just avoid the big mistakes. Most of you, I bet if I ask each one of you here, most of you have almost never picked a bad stock. It's always about timing. Oh, shoot, I mistimed it. Or I went in too early, or I got out too late, or I added when I shouldn't have. It's not the problem of picking the wrong stock. So it's the timing and trying to avoid the easy mistakes. So that's my goal. Is like today, somebody asked me, they bought a put in Apple. And I thought they must have made money on it, because I'm trying to remember what the put was, 145, and Apple was right there. I thought to myself, you must have made money on it. Nope, they were down. So I said, let's table that conversation until tomorrow, because they didn't ask me until the market closed. So I can't give them feedback theoretically on what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember there. You remember there, Nick, when, for example, there was this one person that came up to your chat room, and he's like, he joined the chat room, and he's like, hey, Nick, I'm trying to do, I don't know if it was a spread or what, and then he posted the trade, and it was something totally different, right?
Today?
No, I mean before, like what? Because
yeah. So that's why I say today, because it happens almost every day. Somebody's trying to put in a trade or roll out of a trade or something like that. And then they pasted the one you're talking about. They posted a picture of their order, and it was, there was something weird with it. So they were Twitter, I believe, they were trying to close the Twitter trade, and their platform was saying they're taking unlimited risk. So I'm thinking, I said something about that order doesn't, it's like your account doesn't see the position in Twitter you had. They had calls and they were trying to sell calls they had, but the platform was saying they're taking unlimited risk. So either he was trying to sell an odd number of calls or what, but at least I got him to make a call and not trigger that. It happened today with a couple of credit put spreads where people were telling me the trade setup, one person got it right, one person got it wrong, but luckily they both did it before actually they pulled the trigger, and it was a direct message. So sometimes you can even forget about it altogether, especially if you get busy with other stuff. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Hey, Mary, I'm trying to see if I recognize some of the names. Can you zoom in? Can you zoom out of the Apple chart so we can see the full pic? Zoom out like to a higher time frame? Like this? Oh, with my notes. It'll be busy. The notes are usually for not daily charts, but I can tell you the notion of it, that once Apple lost this level right here, technically you triggered that target, but there are a couple of targets that they've been working on from before. So the idea is if markets stabilize, Apple will not fill these. But if the S&P has a hiccup on whatever goes on this week. So what's going on this week? Nothing. It's just fear for the sake of freaking fear. For some reason now, Wall Street believes that monthly expiration weeks are bad. That never used to be the case. They used to say monthly expiration bring volatility, bring uncertainty, bring excitement. Now it's just bad. So the expectation that it's bad. So maybe some of the selling last week was jumping the gun to get into this bad week before everybody else. So here's my statement on Apple. You triggered bad scenarios here. You triggered bad scenarios here. You triggered bad scenarios here. This is like tag team bears. This bear triggered this bear, will trigger this bear. So if this bear is triggered, then Apple will go to the low 100s. So that scenario means that the stock market has crashed. It's the improbable scenario that I wouldn't vote for without a new shoe to drop. So this idiot, Powell, yes, he's an idiot, or he thinks we're idiots, whichever. It doesn't matter. Both are bad. And he's in control, unfortunately. A non-economist in control of the economy that says things like, Mark, are you in here? Help. Here's somebody that knows stuff about Wall Street I met this weekend. He was saying that he quoted Powell, and he said, I can't believe the guy in charge of the money is saying something like that about M2, which is the money flow in the country. So I'm assuming he said something sacrilege like, Apple will not fall on its own. If it loses this, it's coming to here, but that means the whole market's in trouble. There's no way Apple with its fundamentals, and I'm not a fan, to come down to here without the market being in trouble. So hunker down, and I will show you why this is scary and possible. It's not impossible. I said improbable. Big difference. Let me show you something. It's going to be an eye-opener for you. This is the world before COVID. This is Apple now. This is the line we're talking about. That is not a floor, folks. That's just a pivot point. So picture this. Now follow my marker. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Lose that, you're coming to here. That is a lot of support, but look how wide it is, from 143 to 102. A lot of support, but where will they stop? No clue. Now the bulls have the trend. They're losing the trend. Do you see that purple line? Look, touch it, touch it, touch it, breach it. When you run up, it's going to be a resistance. So the rally will face sellers. All these tails, all these sticks, those are sellers waiting to sell. So this could sold, wish, totally doable. Not a forecast, potential. So don't be hard up on adding to your Apple longs, thinking this is a floor. Zoom out in time. Zoom out. If I'm viewing the 1 hour chart and you buy an option. Okay, Ryan, I think I know what you're saying. If you're viewing a 1 hour chart and you buy an option. Okay, so give me a 1 if you know nothing about options before I answer Ryan's. We have a lot of Ryans in there. We have a couple of Ryans that share their trades, and so give me, don't be shy. Thanks, Sean. So tell me 1 when you don't know what options are, and I'll just give you a quick rundown that gets everybody up to speed. Just 2 people? Come on. Okay, so we have a highly educated bunch. Okay, 3 people. Woo. Just a little. Hey, Muhammad. 2, Mike. Okay, Mike, I got you. All right, so not everybody is up to many, many years. Okay, Deborah, then you belong in the group. I promise you, Deborah, I promise you, you will have fun. And if you don't come out a better trader for many reasons, not because I'm a genius, because the group works, I promise. Benzinga will give you your money back, right? We're offering that, Rodrigo. I just said something. I'm pretty sure. Benzinga always stands up behind its products and services.
Yeah, so there is a 7-day, well, actually, you know what, maybe, you know, before we do get into all this stuff, Nick, I've been getting a lot of emails here from the same folks here. And maybe I just want to take a quick minute here to answer this.
Ryan, I will answer you. I will answer you once Rodrigo does his thing. Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so these are questions from you guys that you have emailed me. So I'm just going to go ahead and answer all this stuff live here, because I'm pretty sure somebody else might have the same question. So are the sessions on Sunday recorded with Nick? Yes, those sessions are for about 2-3 hours. They are recorded and it will be posted in the chat room. Does everybody that joined get a free laptop? That's right, until midnight. What is the chat room schedule? Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. And Sundays, you have the live session for 2 hours. So is there a money back guarantee? 7-day money back guarantee. And the price at renewal, that's the same as you paid today. So that's, and the other question, if Nick covers education, we did cover that. Yes, he does, like every single day. So, and any other questions, posted in the chat, guys.
Okay, cool. I'm reading, I'm chatting, and I'm seeing all kinds of good statements right there. So I see that people understand it a little bit. Some people, they would like to find a way to mitigate the risk. Biggest problem is what to do when the trade goes against me. I think I can help, James. I think somebody said that they view it, the way they view it, I like the way they view it. They view it from the other side, from the dealer side. If you can do that with options, you are heads and shoulders above 99% of all options traders out there. And I'll tell you why. You understand risk management. That's great. I'm going to also say it to you. So here, blanket statement, risk management. So Mary, I think I can help. So first things first. So risk management, let's start there. Defining risk. So risk is 2 pieces. I'm going to use this as a scratch pad right here. I'll blow it up to 40 points. I'll move it out of the way to here. So risk, 1, how much, right? Everybody understand that. How much can I lose, right? You all got that part, but I bet you the second part, not many people consciously think about it. You all know it, but you don't think about it as much as you should. So the how much part, everybody got it. Okay, I'm managing my risk. I'm only risking 2,000. No, you're not managing your risk. You're deciding on your risk. And that once you decide the how much, you set it aside. Here's the part you manage. What are my odds of success? What are my chances? What are what's my likelihood of winning or losing? That's the part you manage. And whoever said, I don't know how to manage when to stop out, basically, when to call it quits, and when the trade goes against me, I'm going to help you out. It's magical with options. It's so easy. It's stupid easy. So, he said the S word. I remember those days when my kid used to say, he said the S word, and S was stupid. Those were old days. The odds, that's the part you manage. The how much, you decide and you move on. The odds is what changes the game. So I'll give you an example. That person that just spoke to me literally 30 minutes ago to ask me about the odds of his Apple put at 145 for this week, 527. I'm sorry, he's down on it. So he clearly bought it when the market was down because price is right there. So his odds are still good, but his entry point was wrong. Okay, so that's a different situation than somebody buying a call and price doesn't go there and time passes and suddenly the call is dead or a big loss. So how can you manage that? Okay, so let's talk about that. If you know, let me go get a picture about options from options table, and I'll bring it over here. Let me see here. Let's pick, okay, I said Apple. I always pick Apple. One of these days I'll find a sexier example, but let's go with Apple. Everybody knows it. Let's go with Apple. I'm bringing the picture, so hold on. There. So this is an options chain for Apple. If you don't know what an options chain is, it's basically a table where all the data lives. Okay. And for those of you, 3 people, apparently, only 3, I don't believe it, but yes, don't know what options are, they're contracts. There's a buyer and the seller to every contract. Everything here is a contract. Each one is a contract. So if it's a contract, then it has a stipulation, it has parameters, it has rules, it has variables, all the same thing I'm saying. Number 1, this one I picked 32 days. It expires on June 17th. I picked it randomly, 32 days. So it is, that's one stipulation. How long? If you buy insurance, I buy insurance for 3 months, 6 months, a year, a month, 1 month at a time. Second stipulation is, what's this? It's all about Apple. Everything Apple here. Every contract here represents shares in Apple. Well, how many shares? That's the third stipulation, 100. Everything here, each one of these is 100 shares. That's the rule. So this is the, those are 3 easy stipulations. What's another one? Price. I pick a price. Okay. So what about all these numbers here? You got, looks like we have 2 sides. That's because they come in 2 flavors, the contracts, some chocolate and some vanilla. We have puts and calls. They're neither is bearish, neither is bullish. Get that out of your head. Puts are not bearish. Calls are not bullish. They can be both. Can be both. What you do with the put is makes it bullish or bearish. What you do with the call makes it bullish or bearish. Okay, so the idea is that if you buy a call, whoever asked about when it goes against me. So usually when they mean is they buy a call. Let's say today they went out and bought this call right there, and they paid $240 for it. Why 240? Because it's right there, 2.4, and it's 100 shares. So it's $240. And what happens? Tick tock, times goes by. Apple doesn't rally. Suddenly this value drops to $1. Why? Because it turns into something like this. Okay, so how can I mitigate? How can I avoid this from happening? Who asked? Who was it? Do you mind saying again your name? Was it Tony? No. Sean? No. James. Yes. James. Okay. So James, I'm going to say when you buy a call or a put, that was the scenario you were thinking of when you said that, right? If that's the case, vertical. Okay, same thing. So if I buy a call, I'm not going into the vertical now because it's the same thing. The part of the vertical, James, the one you buy, if you're buying a vertical, is your odds of success. So when I buy a call with options, I can choose my odds of success. For example, when you buy shares, you can't choose that. Once you buy the shares, your odds are coin flip. They can go up, they can go down. You increase your odds by doing homework, and you think that you're smarter than the other person. Well, there is another person at the other end selling you those shares. They think they're smarter than you. You think you're smarter than them. You do your homework. They do their homework. Nobody has a statistical advantage. You're both right here, right now. Well, with calls, I can change that because the calls is not saying anything but betting on the price action, basically. So if I buy, currently Apple was $145. So if I buy a $145 call, my odds are 50-50, just like the stock. How do I know that? Look at this number. This number is 0.52. That's the delta number. 0.52 delta. That whole column, that's your odds maker. If you didn't know that, write that down. That's like your aha moment of the day. Take that and say, "Ooh, I learned that from Nick. I wish I joined this group." So this is, so the delta, I don't speak Greek when I teach options. What? Yeah. Okay, good, James. So I'm going to give you the easy trick that I use that stops me from being in trouble. So the delta is your odds maker, and you can roughly use it as the percentage of success. Let me word it this way. If somebody says, I bought Apple stock, and I say, okay, what do you see? I think it's going to be 175 by July. I'll say, okay, so let me check on that. Or in this case, by June. Let me check on that and see how realistic you are. I go to the stable, June, 75. Is that a small number or a big number? That's a pretty tiny number. It's not even 0.0, it's not even 0.1. It's 0.03. So according to the stable, this one is saying there's almost no chance Apple is going to be 175 in 32 days. That's what that says. There's very little chance. That's very little number. Apple will be 175 in 32 days. So to be realistic with your expectations, I would stop out when this number becomes too small for my taste. And I'll tell you what my taste is, and it's not an absolute rule. What works for you is different from what works for me. When I buy a new position, I want a position that's higher than 0.3. So when I buy a call or a call spread, I want the one I buy to be like 0.35. So somewhere in between these two. Right now, they don't have one for me for June. So I would opt to be closer or out. I bet you they have it. So I would want a 0.35, 0.32. So maybe this started the day as 0.3, but it ended the day lower. So then what do? I manage that number. So if that number drops below 0.2, then it's gross to me. I'd say, you know what? I have $500 left in that trade. I better save it and I'll redeploy it somewhere else. This trade didn't work out. This way, you have smaller losses and you're not all in it to win it or debt. So I see too many people with, hey, I bought this call, it's down 90%. What can I do to hedge it? You can't hedge a down 90% position. You can decide whether you want it to die for maximum loss or try to save the last 10 points. So, Jason, it's the same thing. So somebody's asking, what's the difference between live chat and the inner circle? The inner circle chat is the place where it's open 24/7. I'm there. I'm checking messages all day, all night. I added recently the live chat, where from that, I have a breakout session where I share my screen like you're seeing now, and I talk like you're hearing now. So you can feel free to join whichever. Once you belong to one, you belong to everything I have. And the good thing about this is you can pop in whenever. You can ask a couple questions and bolt. I have a guy I call Casper. His name is Maffey. He jumps in. What's the trade? Okay. Or he comes in. What do you think of this trade? I'll give him my opinion. He disappears. Comes back. It worked. Or comes back. It didn't work. I punted it or something. So you're in control. You have 24/7 access to me, to the group. You can chat with other people. People help each other. Like today, everybody was pitching in. A couple of people were new. One of them was lost. Then finally found his way to the live chat room. He was in there. He could hear me. He just couldn't see me. And Rodrigo is here to answer questions. So how do I stop myself from being blown out? How, when a trade goes against me, like James was saying, and I think Abdul was saying also. So the way to do it is to keep track of your delta and don't let it fall too low to where the number is no longer realistic. And it's almost like this one is 17% success ratio. This one's 10, this one's 6, this one is 4, 2. You know, basically all of these are the same. They're all dead. Anything single digits is toast. You need a miracle. It could happen, but you need a miracle. So sometimes if you're betting for a miracle, you buy it cheap like this, because look, this is 68 cents. This is $4. So clearly they're not charging you a premium price for it. So if you know that Apple is going to burst in the next 32 days, that'll be a bargain. Whew, you pay 60 cents and it blows up to $4. Yes, we do this like 3 times a week. On expiration days in the live room, the SPX gives us that opportunity. Now I believe the SPX is going to be expiring almost every day, if not every day, by the end of May. So every day we have the opportunity to have a home run like this. Buy a cheap call or a put when we see the market going quickly towards the close. Not everybody can see it. And most often we see it and we say, okay, this is a 60-cent risk, 50-cent risk. It could turn into something big or stop out halfway.
Right. Right. And Aaron, Jaquel on the YouTube chat, I'm already learning a bunch already. Thank you, Nick. So I mean,
right.
this is just a sneak peek, really.
Yes, education is the goal. And I'll answer Mary that way. Mary, if you think of me as a trade alert service, I think you're missing the big picture. I do provide my trades setups via video. And today I'm late delivering one because of this. And during the day, I got busy. I couldn't deliver it, but I will deliver it after this. Oh my God, to think how much I have to do by the time I go to sleep tonight. So I have to deliver a video with a trade setup, and it will be from scratch. So here's what the world looks like. Here's what this company looks like. Here's why I'm doing this, the thesis. And here's what would stop me out. And here are the different ways I can do it. I can buy calls, I can buy shares, buy call spreads, sub-put spreads, or any combination of thereabout. I'll explain all of these, plain simple English. So every video is like 15 minutes. And then people decide whether they like it or which version of it suits their risk. Success ratio. I usually sell spreads. I don't buy anything unless I have a breakout I'm chasing actively, which I am in a few stocks right now. But I would always prefer to sell spreads. Whoops, something happened. Okay, so the sold spreads for all of last year during a crappy year were, if you didn't touch them, you just took them and never look at them, they were in the high 70% success ratio. But nobody should do that. So if you just closed the big wins, like the giant wins, and you didn't bother with the smaller wins, you were up in the high 80s, low 90s. So I designed them to be boring with a success ratio to start on theoretical part, 85 to 92%. And that's what they deliver. You only just need to close the giant wins and you will get there mathematically. But that's not the point. The point is there are so many other wins within the week. I should have brought them. Every week, I have hundreds of testimonials. I take screenshots. I wish I can be fast enough right now to pull them up, but while I'm talking, I'll try to do that. I didn't do that last Thursday, Friday, because I was in Vegas. So I might not have fresh ones today. Did I do any today? I don't think so.
And just really quick, I want to mention while you do that, these are some educational videos. I call it pretty much like the starter kit. It helped me get started with spreads and how to use them, risk management, all the different types of trades, what's the best type of trade, how to pick which type of trade. So if you're new, I'm telling you, these videos are going to be really good for you, because that way you can be part of the conversation and that helps you with the learning process.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be funny because I'm taking it off of a 49-inch monitor. I don't know how it's going to translate here. Did it come on? Nope. Okay, so anyway, I'll try to do it smaller scale.
Try to share your screen.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing it on my screen. So, all right, so I'll take the screen back from you if you're done. Share my screen. This will stop the other person. Yes. Apple share. Okay, so I was trying to share my screen of just one instant last week, I believe. And it was, I'll try to do it again. Come on, please work, please work.
And Angela saying, I've been scared away from options because people say you can lose everything. How true is that? Well, Nick, I mean, I
will convince you otherwise. I will
Yes.
convince you otherwise. There it is. Yay. Okay, so this is just one instance. This is my screen shot. You can see my chart right here. Some of the stuff I was watching then. This is the people, 290 people almost. We got up to 318, I believe. And this is Mary. Mary is the happiest person on the planet. Kamal's been with me for a long time. Yems is relatively new. I don't remember Keith. Linda is totally active, and
Is that the
always-
same? Is that the same Mary Trades that made 500% on Netflix puts?
well,
on earnings?
she's very active. So
Yes.
she's super successful, and she's in there all day. And this was a fast trade on Tesla, which I wouldn't do, but I track Tesla. See, Tesla, I track it, and it must have been a breakout from here to here. So she caught the breakout, and they trade it. Whoever can. And Kamal was confused here. No options on Upstart, but something was wrong with his setup, so he wasn't seeing them. So this is the live room picture. This is the actual room. You can see the microphones. That's the people right here. I didn't take a picture of them, their names, but there are 290 of them. And this is not a one-off, I promise. I have tons of them. And
I remember specifically myself because I took some of those trades when you were bearish on Netflix on earnings, and then so I got a message from this. I get emails like literally of people like telling like thank you when people were bearish on Amazon, and that was just crazy because
yeah, Roku the Roku earnings play doubled, and it was a call calendar video lesson. I said, here's a lesson on a call calendar, and here's why. Roku implied volatility was super expensive for earnings, understandably so. I said, I want to buy 2 weeks out, which was May, calls and sell the current calls for that week. And it was 60 cents to buy, and the next day it was $1.20. So if I did 10, it was $600, and the next day it was $1,200. Yeah. And the call itself did not win. The setup won. So those who just bought calls did not make money because we made it into a diagonal. If you don't know what that is, I usually explain it, so don't worry about it. Then that's the stuff that made it a win. So it's not willy-nilly. So there is learning, and the learning pays off like right away. Let me see here. What else? Where was I going with that? I'm trying to remember the question. So, okay, the delta helps the couple of people here that fessed up, that James, I think, and Abdul, that helps them manage the realistic expectations of a trade. So if I buy a call, if I buy a put, or if I buy a call spread, or if I buy a put spread, same thing. Put spread or a call spread, same thing. Not same thing. They have, if I deal with the delta of one of the legs, the one I buy, I'd be managing my risk of the spread, is what I meant to say. So don't let that delta get away from you. And the only thing you have to do is set your parameters and stick to them. That's the difficult part. So it's easy to say, oh, I book my loss when the delta hits 0.2. Do you? If you do, then you don't get blown out too often. You lose on the ones that don't work out. So that's why I like to sell options instead of buying options. So my mission in life is to show people that we can sell options. So whoever just asked the question at the end, let me show you how options are not riskier than stocks.
Really quick, before you do get into that, I want to give a shout out to Patty. Welcome to the Options Inner Circle, Patty. Let's go.
Hey, Patty. I will take a sip of my soda while Patty joins. Okay, so you've heard the term that options are scary because they're super dangerous. They can be. If you use them willy-nilly, you start buying left and right, you lose a lot of money. So what you do is you flip the equation on its head. I like to sell risk. So I find it, maybe you're different, but I find it easier to find out where a stock is not going to go with a certain confidence than where it's going to go by a certain time. So when you buy a call or you buy a put, you're saying the stock is going to go there by that time. That's the only way you can make money. If the stock doesn't go there by that time, you're going to lose money on your call or your put, your call spread or your put spread, doesn't matter. So if you buy a call up here for June, you're saying that Apple is going to rush towards that price by June in the next 32 days. If that doesn't happen, you lose your money. That's why it's easy. So with stocks, you buy the stock and you say it's going there. You can sit on it for 10 years if you're patient enough, and it might get there. Some stock, they don't. If you bought that in Hyliion, you didn't. You lost your money. So Apple, okay, maybe that's correct. But what I try to do is figure out where Apple is not likely to go. For example, how likely is Apple going to be at 117 in the next 32 days? It is possible, but a lot less likely. It is not likely. Do I swing options? Somebody's asking. Yes, of course. Of course. For example, if I saw Facebook, which I am in right now. Okay, so let's hide it. So here's Facebook weekly chart, long-term chart, right? This is the pandemic. Boom. Now it's back into the pandemic. So I issued a long Facebook trade that played out. I reissued the trade saying it popped and it dropped. Same reasons I did it the first time. They all came back to life. Fantastic fundamentals, super solid. I mean, the whole world stopped working and this is where it was. And I said, I want to swing trade it up. Both times I did the same thing. I said, I can sell a put spread, which basically says, I bet it's not going to go to 140. That was the trade. I bet it's not going to go down here. And I collect money for it. No money leaves my account. I said, if somebody wants to buy a rally, they then buy calls or call spreads or shares. So the first level is, I bet it's not going to go to here, and somebody pays me money for that. And no money leaves my account. And if price doesn't collapse, I keep the money. It's mine. And then the other part, if somebody wants to participate in the upside, they buy a call or a call spread. So what did I do? I sold the put on bad days. And then when I saw stabilization and started rallying, I bought a call spread. And I checked on it today. It was up huge in the morning. It was up less in the afternoon because Facebook gave back some of the gains in the morning, but it's still up. And it was a $10 wide debit call spread for July. I have time on the clock and it's already up big time. So I can sit on it even through some bad days. But the idea is that I'm trying to swing trade the opportunity in Facebook on the daily chart with support of a weekly swing. I would not be shocked to see Facebook at 280 in the next 3 months. It will need the help of the markets because of we're so edgy on its own with this kind of base. Look at this candle. That was a reason to get in, not to get out. I would get out below here and re-engage lower, but I would be surprised to see it below this. So this is, I do swing trade. However you're trading, I promise you, you're going to find something to suit you. I have in the group, we have mostly options traders. We have a lot of futures traders, crypto traders, a blend of everything. Options traders who trade equities, equity traders who use options to subsidize their equity trades, like selling covered calls, stock replacement strategies, whatever you want, the education is there. If you ask about a strategy and I don't know about it, we will look into it and we will deploy it. For example, I was asked about a couple of tools in the last 6 months. I didn't know about them. Guess what? I went out and got them, and now we're experts at them, and we use them to scalp intraday. One of which is TradyTicks. Phenomenal tool. Oh, just today. Look at this. AMD, 5-minute chart. I kid you not. I kid you not. The day was terrible. And then I said, maybe AMD has the best opportunity because I was looking at TradyTicks, AMD divergence. Let me see if I can find it. AMD. Okay, so maybe I find it here. 1 second. I'll bring it in. It's not working. Anyway, there was divergence in AMD with what they call the algo flow. I can't stand saying that word, but it is what it is. And the price was going one way, falling, and the algo flow that tool shows me was going the other way. It was divergent. And I said, hey, maybe AMD has the best chance of a bounce. And then boom, this happens within 15 seconds of me saying it. It was incredible. So I didn't participate because I'm busy keeping the action in check, but people who are in the room had the opportunity to do that. So it is, the environment is eclectic. There are no jerks allowed. There are some jokesters. Brad, are you here? So did I buy the dip in Bitcoin?
Hey.
I'll give you a better answer.
Hey, Nick, really? Yeah, I mean, after your Bitcoin answer, just somebody's asking about the Sunday session. I don't know if we touched on it.
Well, we can answer the Sunday session first since you were talking. So you want me to take it or do you want to take it?
Yeah, you can go deep dive on it.
Okay.
I know what
So,
it
all
does for
right,
you.
let me rephrase, let me remind you what I do for my peoples. First, I share all my trade setups at least once a day, about once a day. I make myself available 24/7 in the chat room so they can pop in and say what's going on. I provide a write-up before the market opens with all the charts for the day and a blurb as to what to expect. I also provide a list of who's reporting and a link to another place, which is called the live room, where I do this all day live, talking, sharing screens, doing trades, fast trades, discussing trade setups, managing trades. And I do all the homework for you. So if you have a ticker that you want dissected, you give it to me and I'll do it for you. And I do it twice on Sunday. No joke. So Saturday, Friday night, I send out a request sheet. Tell me what tickers you guys want to discuss on Sunday. I do the homework a couple hours at night on Saturday. We wake up Saturday morning, Sunday morning. We have a webinar like this, me ripping through 150 tickers, putting them in a nice table for you, sharing a video for people who couldn't make it, 2.5-hour webinar every Sunday with your tickers in there. You don't have to watch the whole thing. It's alphabetical with a table that goes with it. You can scroll through the letters you want. You can click on the tables you want. You'll see my notes right next to them. And then Sunday night, I send out a strategy video for the week. So this week, it was one strategy video, and I broke up the list into 3 different smaller videos of homework. So if you don't like to do homework, give it to me. If you want to discuss your trade setups, let's do it. If you don't have time to be live, you get it in a recorded fashion. If you just want to read the write-up and you don't want to deal with the live room, that's fine.
Yeah, and I do want to add here, Nick, that there are people that actually they're joining to learn how to trade options.
If you're joining to learn, that's the best attitude. I don't want anybody to join and say, where are the trades? That would like red flag. Trade alerts are fine. That's not my goal. That's not my goal. We have a lifetime of trading. At least whenever you subscribe to it, if you pay for a year, I don't know if it's that you're offering. If you're paying for a year, you have a whole year. It's a classroom that's open on your schedule. You pop in and say, what's up? And then the class starts. And then you leave, the class stops. You pop in and say, what's up? The class starts. And you leave, the class stops. And you have the whole time with all the references. Do I assign homework? I do not officially assign homework, but I do pop quizzes.
Yeah, and
I keep asking people to say stuff, but I don't need to. People are sharing their own trades. Linda shares her own trades. Like today, she shared at least 4 trades.
Yeah, just doing the math. Just doing the math here. I mean, that's like 50 hours a week, man. Like, I mean, 50 hours a week doesn't do it for you. Like, you can't put anything more than that. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. So
Mary is asking a valid question. How do I sell options without needing to own shares? Mary, there are ways to mitigate risk. The one way is, so most of my trades are designed to fit any size account, because if I don't want to sell a naked put, if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. If I don't want to sell an option all by itself, which opens risk, every time I sell an option, it opens risk. But if I buy an option behind it, further away from current price, I limit the risk. So if I sell a $5 wide spread, and I collect $1, then my maximum, the account only needs to have $400 for this trade to work. Of course, I don't recommend you put your last $400 into one trade, but if somebody has a $5,000 account, it's a doable trade. So the trades I suggest, they can be modified to fit whatever size account. My suggestion is for somebody new, jump in, watch all the videos. I know Rodrigo went through how many videos there are there. Ask a million questions. Come back and trade with paper. Today, Arlene trade with paper, traded one giant order with traders and then with paper trades. So fake money. But she has experience. I know she does. So she jumped in on the SPY call, that white arrow. She played it with real money, I believe, for her brother, in her brother's account, and she made him money right away. So if she knew what she was doing, but somebody fresh new should not be doing live trades right away. They should practice until they get it right, and then you jump in with one account. Bitcoin, we'll talk about Bitcoin, Jason. Hold on. So, hey, I love it. I am superhuman.
I mean,
no, I'm not superhuman.
The thing is that if you guys haven't noticed, Nick is very, very passionate about his members. Like he loves them and goes above and beyond. It's pretty obvious.
I'm well caffeinated, James. You should have been at the convention in Las Vegas. It was hilarious because
shout out to all the members that went there from the all the intensive folks.
People in real life. I mean, in person. It was hilarious. So we can talk Bitcoin all day. So here's how I did Bitcoin for the people, for my people in Bitcoin, BT, USD. Yeah, I forget which one I use. Coinbase. Which one do I use? Because I have drawings there. Let's try this one. Is this where I have? No. One day reset. Yes. Good job. Okay. So in November, I did a video, full video, 2 of them, I think, one, and then followed up with one. I said, Bitcoin needs to hold middle of 40,000. So I said 44 to 42,000. I said, if they lose that, they're going to 20-ish. I said, here's my plan. I'll buy the first dip around 33. It's going to bounce, try to recover the neckline it lost. And then if it doesn't recover it, it's going to come back and lose 33 and go to like 25, 28. I'll buy my second batch there. So this was 46, 45, 46 right there. They fell to 33. They bounced, tried to recover it, and they failed. They lost 33. They went to 25. Okay. Could I have done it any better? I'm on record. You can go back and watch the video. There's no BS here. So what did I do? I bought here. It ran up to here. That's like 30, 40%. So what did I buy? I used Bitcoin as a gauge to do whatever else coins I want. So at the time, I said, I like 3 coins, other than Bitcoin, of course. Ethereum, because I need it to transact. Everything you do in crypto might cost you Ethereum. Solana, because it is the great competition to Ethereum. If you don't know much about Bitcoin, if you do a crypto transaction, even if you don't know anything, it's like sending like the Swift network. When you do a wire transfer from bank to bank, it goes across a network. So in crypto, similar situation. You make a transaction in crypto, it goes across a network. Well, Ethereum is the network right now. And then the money for Ethereum is Ether, the coin that supports that network. And so Solana is a competing network that has a coin called SOL. They should have bought a different name. But anyway, it is like, if I understand it correctly, it's like 3,000 times faster, therefore more efficient, therefore cheaper. And it is, I think their trick is they transfer less data in the transaction. For example, the timestamp, they don't transfer the data. They calculate it based on something. So I think they call it proof of history rather than just proof of stake. So it is a better coin. So Solana was one of them. And I also threw in CRO, which was a mistake because CRO is the coin for crypto.com and it recently caused a rift, whatever. Long term, I think it'll be fine. But the problem, the point is, we have a plan and it's working tick for tick. So I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin at 20 or 19, where I would deploy another batch. So this batch got you 40%. This batch got you already some. I thought the other day it would get to 34. It may still get to 34 or 35. Don't trust it, just like you shouldn't have trusted the 48. It needs to hold it. So I think if it fails and it loses this, it comes to here. It doesn't have to right away. But that was my plan for November. So yeah, we do trade crypto. And there are easier ways to trade crypto. Okay. The recording.
Right. And the focus again is options, right? Because it's not just calls and puts. Most people think it's just calls and puts, Nick, but spreads and other things like that you can explain to them. It's just a lot.
I shy away from calls and puts because they are so they are high conviction. In this environment, when the VIX, the volatility index, is miles away from its average, I think its average is 19. Everything is expensive, and it's saying the market doesn't know where it wants to go. How do you know to buy a naked put or a naked call? Buying a put or a call when the VIX is this high. By the way, the VIX's price is high. That means all options are expensive. That's how it's priced, off the options. So if all options are expensive, what gives you the confidence to take your position like you know something for a fact? I wouldn't do that unless I'm actively trading like minute to minute. If I see a breakout here, I'm going from here to here, then I would do calls and puts. But if I'm doing a swing trade opportunity, like my Facebook opportunity, I thought to myself, I'm pretty confident of this. And even then, I'm just going to take a spread. I did a credit put spread. I did a debit call spread. I didn't sell a naked put like I usually would. I didn't buy a naked call like I usually would. But you have to mitigate your, you have to knock your conviction down a level in this environment. Do I do futures? I personally don't, but if I had the choice, that's probably what I would do, because I'm pretty good with the charts. And if you're pretty good with the charts, you're going to beat your competition, the other side of my trade. A lot of people in our group do futures. What's my strategy to gauge the market using futures? Okay, I track the market via the futures. So today, when they were talking about trading Tesla, I said you have to keep an eye on the S&P futures, because Tesla is not going to rally all by itself if the futures are falling. Luckily, we had a pretty good number today to track. I'm going to go from memory, 3876 on the S&P futures. The futures of the S&P is, they call that the mini, E-mini. It's /ES, for example, if you're on Thinkorswim. It's a real raw look at the S&P almost for as long as the markets are open. So better than the SPX, because it's like a continuous look at it. So you have to look at it, and it gives you the overnight range. It's always on my screen to answer your question, Mary. Okay, so how about we take some tickers? Hit me with a ticker. What is the VIX? Ricky, the VIX is the CBOE puts out a this ticker that represents, quote, fear, the fear volatility index. Look, it's a volatility index on the S&P. If it's elevated, it means everything in the options world is expensive because people are on edge. So it's a gauge of risk. You're welcome. All right, look at all these stickers. You see all these stickers? That's what we do all day. Jim wants 3 of them, not just one. They want 3 of them. Okay, let's see who I want to pick. Okay, so I talked about AMD. Dan, I will start with AMD. I'll try to do all of them. Okay, how about that? So AMD, I said once it lost 100, it should be going to the 60s. And now I like the company. I just bought 2 AMD machines. I think Lisa Su is a fantastic CEO. This is just a purely price action, just like Bitcoin. So they need to recover 104 and hold 100 for me to change my opinion. Otherwise, this is all the fault of this. Look at this bad base. There's a hole here, there's a hole here, and they build this whole thing off of it. This is a giant head and shoulders with 2 shoulders. So they averted disaster right there. This is a giant head and shoulders. Look how big that thing is. They did not avert disaster back there. So they fell below the neckline. So now they're struggling to get back above the neckline. The stock is not crap. The rally was crap. This was junk. This is junk. This is not a proper way to rally a stock. You create a problem. So this is a lot of support. But look how wide it is. So there's not one place that it can hold support. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, it's going to try to rally, and they're going to try to hit it hard at 100, 104. If it's lucky and the QQQ soars because of ABC, whatever, it might be bailed out. Otherwise, I would assume that it's going to bleed towards 75. Maybe market corrects hard and it dips into 70. Then it becomes a really good entry point. Meanwhile, it's not a reason to short it, say it's going to 70. I just want to put realistic expectations over the future of AMD. Shorter term, this is a 1-day look. That's your trigger. That's your problem. That's your trigger. That's a potential problem. That's a carrot, but that's a problem. So take this out. You get to here, you battle over here. Maybe they get to fill this one. I would sell it up here. If it gets to 112, I'm out. If it gets to 104 and can't hold 100 again, I'm out, because if it loses this one, it's going to the 60s. It's almost a guarantee. So be knowledgeable, be humble, expect that the sellers are winning this battle. Look at it. Sell, look, rally, sold, 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 rally. Why is this one different? Why is this next rally different? Don't treat it like it's different until it shows you it's different. How does it become to be different? Beat a prior fail. That's a very sharp prior fail. And then immediately above it, that's why I said 104. Look at this. So be realistic. Now, if it takes this out, it's in the clear. It can go back to 150, but it needs to take this out.
I appreciate the honesty when when everybody is asking you about a stock.
Yep. Okay, so why the hole in the base, Sean? That's a good question. You should ask the idiot bulls that did it back then. In 2020, we broke the stock market. Everybody turned into an ape, so-called ape on Reddit. Everybody trades like Reddit now. So yeah, this is crazy stupid. But in all fairness, this was crazy stupid too. So we shut down the world. What in the fudge? We shut down the world. Hey, people, we're going to have a depression on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Yep, that's when we're going to start the depression. Everybody, hunker down, go home. And then, wait, did we mean that? No. Let's reopen. And here is $5 trillion to fix the problem. Wait, did you say $5 trillion? Yes. Are you sure? Yeah, how about the trillion more or two? What? That's crazy. So I shouldn't say stupid people, because in all fairness, this is a stupid situation. And this is just the byproduct of it. We will work it off. It's just going to take some time. Cash. So here's another little tidbit. $1 trillion is a schmuck ton of money. In case you didn't know it. In fact, when we first started using the word trillion, so if you ask people on the street what comes after trillion, probably 99% of them wouldn't know what comes after trillion. Not because they're ignorant, because that's how big that number is. Nobody teaches quadrillion. So it's a huge number. So if you spend $1 million a day, it would take you 2,740 years to spend $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. And we have like 10 of them floating around somewhere. And they say, ooh, we have inflation. Well, no schmutz. No, yeah. So Nick, do I help new traders for spread strategies? New traders? Yes. I'm basic as can be. My setups are from very basic. Every video with a trade setup will approach from, like, I have very basic people watching to very experienced people watching. So I try to be across the board. And the good thing, Ahmed, you will have the recourse to come into the chat room and say, I don't really understand what you tried to say here. I don't do options. How can I do this without options? Or I'm very new to options. How do I do this? How do I actually put the trade on? Do I think the market will need to go back to pre-COVID level and correct as a corrective crash? Angela, that's an astute question. So the small caps is already there. So I think Angela is asking, remember I showed you Apple, how high it is? Yeah. So check out the Qs. Pre-COVID, perfect, all-time high levels. Remember that rally? That rally was insane. And then, nope, boom, COVID. Nope, bam, out to the moon. Look at where it's still at. We can fall, what is that, 25%? 25% almost, before we get back to perfect world with all-time highs before COVID. And that was weird. That rally was weird. It's like somebody knew it was coming, I swear. So yeah, we can fall. We don't have to, but we can fall. But here's the trick now, Angela. Rallies will be sold into that purple line. Just like dips will bought at the purple line, rallies will be sold into that purple line. So what we will do is until they find a level they like. This is someplace they might like. So 260. IWM, I'll tell you why it's not doing well. This is COVID, pre-COVID, 2018 crash. By the way, Powell caused this. Powell said, we are on autopilot with rate hike. What did Powell say 2 weeks ago? We are on autopilot with rate hikes with different words. He said, here's a rate hike. I'm going to raise two more times, and I'm going to have 6 months worth of asset sales. That's autopilot. You got 2 more meetings that are already set from now and 6 months worth of more QT. So that's freaking autopilot. The fact that he didn't say those words, that's what they meant. And somebody asked him, will you look at the data in between? No. He said, no, a report or two that are bad is not going to change my opinion. That's autopilot. The purple line is just a moving average. It can be anything. It's just basically a smoothing of this price action. I mean, this actions go up and down, up and down, up and down. This takes the average of 20 of them. I don't know how many, 20, what was this? Yeah, 20. So this one takes the average at any point in time. It looks back 20 ticks and takes the average. So it smooths the action. This one is the 20. Yep, it's another way to zoom out and see where the hell the price action is going. So this is a very reliable way to guess what's coming next. You can't make decisions off of it when it's flat. Like when it's going this way, it tells you nothing. Teeter, 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 tells you nothing. When it's rallying, it tells you don't short, don't short, don't short, don't short, and then go sideways. Don't go long, don't go long, don't go long, don't go long. They're selling rallies. If you just follow the simple strategy, you'd be miles ahead of like 99% of the people out there. Rivian, you're just going to have to trust yourself that it's going to do well in the future. I live in Southern California around Newport Beach, and I see a lot of them. It's an expensive truck. I mean, it's pretty and everything, but it's 80 G's for crying out loud. What the hell? $80,000 for a pickup? No thanks. So it is a niche market. It's only for the 2% people. Not everybody's going to be able to afford a Rivian when rates go up. I can assure you that. So Rivian's going to have to mark itself down. I make that in one trade. It doesn't. I grew up in the war, Mary. So resources were scant: food, gas, money, life. So I don't squander money. There's no way on the planet I would spend $80,000 on a car. Nobody should. That is not Bill Gates. So it just doesn't make sense. So, I'm trying to convince my 20-year-old now that wants to buy a $40,000 truck that you could fit the Rivian inside its bed. And I'm having a hard time convincing him out of it. So Ahmed, I'm small profile account, 2,000 only. Can I survive? And how much is better to amount to make 300 a day? Okay, 300 a day is an aggressive goal for a $2,000 account. So here's what I found. Whenever I put a super aggressive goal in front of me, I make mistakes because you just take excessive risk. I don't know what you need to make $300 a day. AMC, my favorite stock. So the advantage of having spreads is that you can control the amount of losses. So here's what I suggest, Ahmed. Learn, practice with fake money, and you get to your answer on your own terms. So you practice what I'm sharing with fake money. You take a paper trade with 1 contract or 10 contract, whatever. And if the paper trade works over and over, you do one contract in real life, which would make you $50 and maybe risk $200-300 or something like that. And then you see how that works out. And if you can repeat it often enough, then you can say, okay, so maybe I can take 2 contracts and now I can make $100 a week. If you go out with a $2,000 account, trying to make $300 a week, you may be able to make it, but it's going to be difficult and it's going to be stressful. It's doable, but you need expertise. If you're new, I wouldn't put that my goal. My goal would be to get out without losing. consistently every week. You spent over 100,000 on a CLK 55. It's a good car. You can't eat the dollars. I don't know if I have better uses for 100,000. You don't have to eat it. But you can definitely, anyway, it's personal preference. If it brings you joy, then you did right. Resell might be good, actually. On the what? On the Rivian? Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter. To me, I wouldn't pay $80,000 for a truck. Unless I'm in the business and I need the truck for work that can pay me back. Lucid, let's do Lucid. Okay, we can teach some options in Lucid. All right, so can anybody guess? I'm a pretty good chartist. In fact, I'm a darn good chartist, and I'll put my skills against all those, Carter Charterworth, whatever his name is on CNBC. All right, so can anybody tell me? I'll check in a second. Can anybody tell me what's my best tool? Notice I don't have a lot of tools on my screen, right? What is my best tool? Price action, options chain, levels. Whoa, who said levels? Jason. Okay. How do I get levels? Look left. Ah, you're cheating. You're cheating. You know me. You know me. Thanks for being here. Okay. So Jason called it. Look left. So if you bought shares up here, you're not looking left. Look left and say to yourself, what happened the last time somebody bought it up here? Disaster. Why would you buy it up here? And then you tell me, oh, for the long term. The long term, you could have bought 3 times as many shares down here if you just waited a little bit. So yeah, look left before you buy. And do I teach people? Yes, I teach. That's what I do. I teach. Lucid, great car, great tech. I met a kid yesterday in Vegas who owns one. He bought it from doing options and doing stocks. I kid you not. The kid's 12 years old. So he bought one for his dad. He owns 90 shares of Tesla, if that should tell you anything. And he came up to me for advice after I spoke. And he said, what do you think of my portfolio? And he rambled it on. All I remember is I've got 90 shares of Tesla. That's the only thing that could ring in my head. I was like, you're 12, dude. So, and anyway, so Lucid, great car. And it doesn't matter to the stock price. It does not matter to the stock price. Volume is important, Bart. Here's what I say. If you love the company and you want to be invested in it, whether this is the perfect time to enter or not, take a partial position. Don't make it nuclear. Don't take all in. So I've started saying with the risk is 2 pieces, the odds that you manage and the size of the risk. So if you know that you want to own 100 shares of Lucid, take 30. So I knew I wanted X number of coins or something. I took 1/3, knowing that it's going to drop more. So this way, when it drops more, you buy the second third, and suddenly you're in like Flynn at a pretty reasonable price. And if it drops even more, you take the rest of your batch, and then you're in for the long term at a very reasonable price. So what's wrong with that? Nothing. So I can tell you that 20 is going to be a problem, but it's also going to be the opportunity. So there's going to be sellers hiding here. If you beat them, you can get $2.50 out of it. Struggle there. If you beat them, if you eventually take this out, technically you can back to here. But if you're buying calls right now, thinking Nick said it's going back to 35, that is not absolutely what I said. So I did that with Upstart. So I traded for the group Upstart perfectly. We never lost money on Upstart. And then this happened. I said, you know what? I'm going to buy shares. And I bought shares. I didn't nail the bottom. Somebody in my group bought it in the 20s. It's like, what? You beat me. I'm in the low 30s. But I bought shares. I didn't go all in, but I bought shares. So we do what we need to do in order to trade with realistic expectations. I teach, I share, I do homework all day. Mary, RSI is useful, but not to me, not always. I do use it daily, but not for the purpose that you think. Buying in tranches. Yes, James, that's buying in tranches. Yes, buying in little pieces at a time. A few pieces, don't go all in. I told you, who's confident? Nobody should be confident right now. Check this out. I just saw this. Look, this price here is allergic. Look left. Look, gap, no, nothing, no touch, no touch, no touch, no touch. It's like a quadruple gap, 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 gap. There's like, it's like allergic from 63. Keep that in mind, 271. That's a pretty important zone. That's crazy. I didn't say not reliable. I don't use it like other people do. How do I use it? I use it as look, it's right there. I use it as a secondary thing. So for example, let me see if I can think of one. Okay, Facebook. All right, so I think Facebook bottomed, and I think it has some upside to go. It's not clear from this chart that that's the case. So I get it as a consultant. What does the relative strength say? Okay, so they bottomed here. So the stock internally is gaining strength while the stock price is not showing it yet. So that's an ace in the pocket. Internally, the stock price is acting well, whereas the stock price on the face of it is not showing it. So that is a relative strength use that I use it. I don't religiously use it like some people use it as a trade alert. RSI is here, I do that. RSI is here, I do that. I use it as a consultant. I have excellent level keeping skills and breakouts and breakdowns. I have really good pattern reading skills and target setting. I use the RSI to help me make those even better. All right, so you guys rambled off a whole bunch of other stuff. NEO, I'm going to tell you my only risk on NEO is the delisting risk. And it's not BS. Didi did it. I don't know how that's going to affect it. This company delivers 60, 70,000 EVs a year. It's no joke. It's not the best car company out there. It's not the biggest or the fastest. They have a unique approach to the battery. I like that. You don't buy the battery. That's why their cars are cheaper. If you ever try to build an electric anything, the biggest cost is the battery. It's insane. I was building a motorcycle, an electric motorcycle. I was turning an old classic bike into an electric motorcycle. And when I was pricing out the price, the parts, the battery is like the biggest thing. So it is, their idea is you buy the car and then you basically pay for the consumable, which is the battery. You lease it, so you pull in, you don't charge it, you just swap batteries. And they're trying to expand into Europe. I don't know how fast they can do that. But look at this. What is that? That's the purple line. What is it saying? Don't buy the pops, right? Pop sold, pop sold, pop sold, pop sold, question mark. So what happens here? Tell me what happens at 19, 1830, 1840. I can tell you whether you can trust this pop or not. Meanwhile, the purple line says no touch. Every bottom turned out to be a trap door. I think it's foolish. The fundamentals are great. Look at this. But for now, Wall Street has no tolerance for high growth, that's the blue line, and spending, that's the orange, the net income losses. Look at that, 2 billion in the hole. So let's see. But it's okay because the operating cash flow is positive. So they're not burning cash they don't have. So yeah, they're losing money, but by design, they're spending their own cash. That's okay. Statistically, let's see. Price to sales, 4. That's pretty reasonable. That's like maybe a quarter of Tesla's price to sales. Of course, it's not the same as Tesla, but exuberance, that means that the people that buy the shares now, they're only giving it 4 years worth of sales credit. So they're pretty realistic. They are hard to disappoint. Okay, so that was NEO. I know I saw that up there. We'll do one more time. Rodrigo, interrupt me whenever you need to answer questions. I don't care. AMC, okay. AMC, the junk. You're gonna have, is the purple line moving average? It is, Amit. It is a moving average. Pick one that suits your style. Mine is a 20. Change it to where it's stable enough so it's not moving like price. So moving averages will become useless. Let's say if I do this 10, I think it'll be like, what's that telling me? Nothing. It's the same as the price. Up here, it's far enough and it stables the price. If you zoom out, it tells you the direction of the price. Anyway, there's not one right way of doing it. Though I think QQQ will go down next 2 weeks. I can't tell the future, but I will track it one line at a time. It can go down the next 2 weeks, and I'll tell you when. What's up, Rodrigo?
So I have a question here. So I'm pretty bearish on the market, and I'm trying to think of something that would be something to short that hasn't been already totally destroyed. Something like not like PayPal, but maybe something like a Netflix or something like that. Um, I mean, let's say Netflix specifically, because that's what I'm looking at. 'Cause it doesn't.
Okay, so we talked about Netflix today in the chat room, and somebody said, "What about Netflix?" I said, "Okay, Netflix has a bad burrito on its hand." What does that mean? So Chipotle, if you've been trading for a while, had incredible stock rally, and it completely died one day because they started poisoning their people inadvertently, of course. But they used to turn high sale growth because of people loved them, and then suddenly people were scared for their lives, so people didn't love them so much. So that comp, turning positive comp, disappeared. So the bids disappeared from the stock. It fell in half. That's what just happened to Netflix. Netflix's stock used to rally on one thing and one thing only: the fact that they used to add users like gangbusters. And then 2 earnings ago, he sounded humble. A super cocky CEO sounded humble. I was like, "Ooh." So before the earnings reported, before the Netflix reported this last time, I said, "I'm really worried about Netflix." Last time, the tone was very humble. I said, "Nothing humbles you quickly than seeing bad results coming your way in the future." So he was laying the groundwork to being, this is the guy that said his only competition was sleep at one point when Apple was coming after him. It's like, you disrespect Apple. How super confident are you? Anyway, so I can't trust Netflix to rally like it used to because they lost their burrito. So what they need to do, the next earnings report, that's going to be super fiery. If they go back to being positive, and there is a potential for that. Why? Because what he said in the report last time, they said, "Oh, we sucked because they shrunk, and it's going to be hideous going forward." He already told us it's going to be hideous. That's why the stock got cut. So he basically bought himself a surprise rally next time. So if next time everybody's expecting hideous and it comes out just bad, not hideous, you get a pop. If it comes out good, you get a super pop. Meanwhile, I think Netflix will be at 178 this week before anything else. So it will follow markets. This is a trigger up. I wouldn't short it if it goes above 196. If it dips to 178, I will buy the dip into here. But I think Netflix could do this week. It could follow the market, first of all, and it could do this at some point. Now, this could extend to here to close this little gap here, but I don't need it to. So if it does dip, there is a buy the dip opportunity down here somewhere. So find it. I don't want to commit to the lines right now because the markets are not open. There is support here at 181, 182. There's definitely support at 176, where the gap is. And of course, these two are supports. Take this out, you get to here with a lot of resistance here. So you close the gap. So it has potential both ways. Technically, let's look at the RSI. Look. So the bears can take it if they want to. So tomorrow, if you're in the chat room, we can trade Netflix. Walmart earnings tomorrow. You know what, Sim? Nobody asked me. So today they asked me about all kinds of tickers. What do you think of this doing over earnings? What do you think of that? Nobody asked me about Walmart. Do they report after hours? That's probably why they didn't ask me.
No, it says it's tomorrow. Walmart tomorrow.
Right, but morning or afternoon?
That's important because I definitely
because they asked me about everything under the sun. So somebody here is asking about TTD and Unity.
Before the open.
So TTD was on my trade list. I took it off today. So was Unity. Why? Because they are high growth companies and out of favor. Now here's the TTD. I have something called upticks mode. The bears are in charge mode. Look, rally sold, rally sold, rally sold. You get the idea, rally sold. Is this rally going to be sold? It's running into prior neckline, purple line coming up. So there's going to be sellers from here to here. Where, I don't know. I want to be wary of this being another sell the rally mode. This should be support. So if it falls into here, I will get long Unity or TTD. I thought about it. Let me see what these alerts say. Get long. See, my own alert says get long, and another alert below it. Not, just get out. Get long and wait, watch out. And check this out. Look at my downside target from months ago. Look at this. I promise you, these are not in hindsight. I do these live, and I have witnesses, so I can go back in time and find a chart where this is there and this is not there. So
Hey, Nick, I want to give a shout out here to DNA 72307 for joining here, the options inner circle chat room.
wow, DNA 7302307. Did I get that right? That would be
Yes.
phenomenal. Okay, so Unity is a good company, high growth, high spend. At least TTD is not high spend. This one blows cash pretty fast. Let's see if it blows its own cash or it borrows. Okay, it blows its own cash, so it's not so bad. But the market hates it. The market absolutely hates it. So why bother? Let me see support. No support. So here's the problem. It's never been lower. So you don't have much to count on with support, except that, okay, this is as low as it got. If it loses 29, get out. You don't know how low they want to take it. Meanwhile, if you want to get long for the long term, take a partial position. What kind? I would buy shares. I would buy shares and sell covered calls, if you know what that is. If not, we can help you find out. Because if you buy calls, time is your enemy right away. If you sell puts to own those shares, that's great because somebody pays you money to buy shares.
Yes, and really quick here, another Michael Schmitz. Welcome to the group, Michael.
Muscle Maker. What is that? Is that a gym membership or something? What is that? Operates a restaurant chain. Restaurant chain called Grill? Muscle Maker? What? Okay. Oh, offers protein-based meals. Okay, I get it. Not my jam, to be honest with you. Look at the spending versus the income. So this is a tiny micro cap where you're going to have to do your homework. Doesn't mean the company is not good. It just means it's not my jam, literally. And the price action is saying, don't touch it. Look at the purple line. Look at it. Every touch of the purple line is sold except for one spike here, whatever the hell that was. And then this spike got faded. This spike got faded. Look. So it says, don't touch it for now until something changes. What? Until the direction changes. So far, you get a drift lower. They keep making lower lows. So arguably, okay, this one, I can give it credit that it's not a lower low. So this is your battle. What comes first? 50 cents or losing that? If you take out 50, you can get to here. But that's not what I do during the day. I have very few people asking for, I have a couple of people that trade penny stocks like that, but not many. Okay. We've done enough tickers. Let's see here. How long have we been on here? We started at 210, 25. I was late. Let's do 10, 310. So we've been an hour and a half. What else do you need? Final word on QQQ. Mary, you asked a couple of places. We'll talk QQQ. Final word. What's your time frame on QQQ? 2 weeks. Okay. So I'll tell you what we did today. Let me tell you what we're going to do. So Friday was super duper. What did we do today? We just teetered, ping-ponged inside the range from Friday. Super rally, world peace. No, wait, no world peace. Is it no world peace? Maybe, maybe not. So now you have your action lines. One is losing this, which is 297-ish, 295. Two is breaking out of the failure point, which is 302, 303. Those are your two lines of action. Meanwhile, today we did have an ascending, but I'm going to delete it. It's no longer there. They're going sideways. So let's zoom out a little bit. That's 15-minute chart. Take out some of the lines so we can have less noise. So now we have the bears in charge. There's no doubt about it. It's a descending channel. They're going sideways to try to swim out of the riptide that's descending. This is that number I just showed you, 303. You can see how sharp it is. You break out of here, you have the opportunity to break out of this sharp line. That is a killer right there. And this is not a coincidence. So if you don't believe in charts, let this be proof positive that you should believe in charts. These, they're not a coincidence. These and this are not a coincidence. So now you have support, resistance / opportunity. This looks like an inverse head and shoulders. You take this out with force, you will beat this, you will end up here. That's your opportunity for the next 2 weeks. Good enough, Mary? every morning I will have a write-up with these charts. I usually have like a 15-minute chart on the indices with lines before the day starts, and then I update them throughout the day. And throughout the day, I'll update them by like actionable, tradable things for people who are actively trading. Strong support today. Buy the dip and stop out if it doesn't work. Buy the dip and stop out and don't know. So you're bearish though, that's fine. There is a play to be bearish. You lose this. I told you, the first one, I told you, look out for support. The bears are in charge. The onus is on the bulls, Mary, to take it back. You have the right to be bearish. It's a thesis just as good as being bullish right now. No problem, Natalie. Rodrigo, I need to get out of here so I can go get my deliverables done. Harvey is waiting on something and the peeps are waiting on something else. What else do you need from me?
All right, guys. Well, listen, guys, I try to keep Nic here as long as possible before he would get a little,
Oh, Mary, thank you so much.
Before he would get a little, you know what? So I did my best. All right. So that is it. But if you do want to trade with Nic, if you do want to, really get a good feel about what Nic is when it comes to trading. Oh, thank you, Nic. All that stuff. I see the love there, but trust me, trading with Nic is different. We try to do our best to bring him out here as much as we can, but he's in high demand. What can I say?
I'm lucky to have a good following. I'm lucky to have Benzinga offer me this opportunity. I have to tell you, I've been working, David, I've been working with Benzinga for over a decade. I don't work for them. I choose to work with them. And they are a stand-up team. So if you've ever been serious about investing, I know it may sound like a lot of money right now. Natalie, I try. But if you think about it, what if somebody told you there's a course you can take at a community college that costs $1,500 or $1,700 or whatever it is, and that you can attend anytime you want for a whole year, pop in and out, in and out, in and out, and you can make some money along the way whenever you're ready. I think it's a no-brainer. So get in there, and if you don't like it, get out. I promise you, I'm guaranteeing you, you're going to be a better trader out of my program, whether you like it or not. You're going to have a few aha moments and say, no, it can't be that easy. Some of the stuff, they complicate the hell out of it, Wall Street people. Trust me, I'm not from Wall Street. It's not that complicated. It's common sense. The toughest ingredient is discipline. It's discipline. To stick to what works.
Right. And I'm going to stay here, guys. If you guys have any questions on the chat room, but more importantly, I want to show you a couple things, the videos. And for those that joined, Michael, like 3, 4, 5 of you, and all the other ones as well, that I don't remember the emails, stick around here because I'm going to show you where to find all the stuff here. Okay. But Nic, amazing session, dude. Thanks for the help with the trade today, man. Save me some money, made me some money. I will see you there tomorrow in the chat. All right.
All right. High five, everyone. Thanks for being here.
All right, there you go, everybody. Nic Chahine, lead trader at the Benzinga Options Inner Circle chat room. Proper goodbyes. Let's go. All you guys already know Nic. I mean, true winner, right? I can see the love there in the chat. So for you guys that joined, I just want to show you the education videos as well, because it's very important, especially if you're starting out. Sean, send me an email. It's only yearly, right? Nic is a great teacher. Absolutely. So I want to show you guys, number one, the education videos, because that's a great reason why for sure. I mean, you would want to join. Trade setups, right? What are options? What are puts? Definitions? What's a spread? Call options, definitions, credit put spreads, when to book or set a stop loss, when and how to book profits, right? Lesson breakout versus swing trades, how to pick what type of trade, right? Buy call, sell puts, all these different things. If you're new to options, you've only been doing calls and puts, I'm telling you that, like, you have to up your game at that, especially with this market. Like, if you don't, you're going to be wiped out, unfortunately, man. And I don't want to be so blunt, but I have to, because it's money. It's your money. You worked for it, like, that's how you'd want, right? Honesty, right? Important. So yeah, these are the videos that I really think you should look at so that you understand the conversation that's happening in the chat room, what Nic is talking about, how you can communicate. That's a good way to learn, really, by having a conversation. That's why people learn new languages and they have to talk to people to use it, right? Like same thing with this, right? Same thing. You need to see it to learn it, but you need to understand it too. So that's why this is a great place to this library. It's amazing. If you're starting or if you want to brush up on some things. The other thing is the live trading room. This, what you're seeing right now, this blue chat room, this is the inner circle chat room. It's open 24/7 pretty much, right? So you have a couple things here that I do want you to take a look at. You have some channels on the left side. And one of them, the yellow bells, right, are the alerts. So I do have sound alerts when Nic is posting and when the inner circle group, the inner circle chat members are posting their trade ideas, their alerts, whatever it is that they're putting there, talking about stocks or what's happening. It's a very fruitful, engageful conversation. Great place for learning, everybody, no matter what level you are. And all right, so you have two channels. Nic's important messages is where only Nic can post. It's important for you to know that that's where you're going to find Nic's trades, Nic's setups. Only he can post there. All right. And so you're also going to find the link to join the live session. That's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, where Nic is sharing his screen Monday to Friday, like webinar style, like we're doing here right now, talking to you on the chat, showing you charts and doing all the stuff, right? That's what it is. And like talking to Nic back and forth. So you would click there on Nic's important messages and you would go on this link that says live session. But really quick, below, you're going to see that all the indexes are being charted. This is SPY. And this is pretty much all the lines and notes. I know that some of you were asking, do we get Nic's notes and the lines? Because I do trade around these lines in the morning when I'm trading the Qs or the TQQQ, right? If I'm buying calls or just trading the stock, the ETF, whatever. But this is very useful for all you guys that trade SPY. A lot of you guys do trade the SPY. Some people trade the NASDAQ or the Dow, whichever. So he does that every morning, right? Small caps and the futures, very important, right? The other thing here, earnings, right? Very important. A lot of you guys want to trade around earnings. You'll have this section here for that. But more importantly, I want you to know the live session because you can ask him anything there, right? Just so that when you click there, this one, I think he made a typo there. He put a J, so it's going to show invalid. But I'm going to show you there. For those that just came in or haven't been here from the beginning, we kind of showed it. But before we move there, just want to kind of recap, right? Nic's important messages is where everything that he will post, setups, education, market updates, and the link is going to be there. So I think he posted it. He posted that link right here on the group where everybody else is posted. You got Shetty there. What's going on, Shetty? Krailman, Mr. Penny Stonker. There's a lot of funny folks there. It's a great time. I'm telling you, the community. I haven't even talked about it, but like the community is the most amazing part of this entire thing. Without them, none of this would be possible. I remember when I started this chat room with Nic about a year ago, and seeing the progress in a lot of you folks has been amazing, especially when it was just me and Nic, right? And we started putting some of the first folks there. If you are watching this and you are one of those guys, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. But now this chat room has evolved. We have coders that literally continue to add and improve certain things, like to the chat room itself. Like, for example, you can, you have I think this is pretty helpful, right? Keep in mind, it's a big chat room. We got like 300 people. So live. So let's just go here. I just want to show you guys where the link is. All right, someone's posting it there. So this is how it's going to look when you go to the live trading with Nic. That's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 live. Okay, where we are about to go in right now is the live trading room. It's separate from the blue chat room. Okay, but I've clicked on the link in the blue chat room to get to this place. So I put a name there, join meeting. Okay, so as you can see on the left side, you have a chat room. So again, these are people that are actively trading the markets. And they're always there. They're always there. Everybody wants to be with Nic all the time. And I get it. I mean, you're spending 50 hours a week with him. And literally I'm pretty sure you guys understand, right? Spending so much time with someone, it does help because you can make it whatever you want. Like if you have a question about education, if you want to learn something, or if you want to trade something, or if you need help with a trade, or if you want, there's so many things you can make it whatever you want, but we focus on trading pretty much, right? So in this particular room, this is where the live trading happens when, for example, maybe Nic might be giving out day trades and things like that, right? When you scalp options, but also people ask him about other types of trades. The things that people take advantage that they have him live there, where they can take quicker trades and get an immediate response, where it's like, I'm getting, right here, this is where I would pull the trigger. So being there live and taking advantage of those opportunities means that you have to be in this particular chat room that I'm showing you right now. Right. And you can't see Nic's charts right now because he's not here. He's doing some other videos for the chat members. From what I understand, he didn't want to give me too much information. But from what I understand, this is a video that's just going to be for the chat members, and he's going to post it there. I think about tomorrow in the morning, from what he told me, about maybe 8 in the morning, around there, he's going to post like a really important video, before the market opens. And I think that all you guys should take a look at it. For those that are members, please look at it. If you're going to try to get in, I mean, look, there's a 7-day money back guarantee. You can literally, considering how these markets are, and you have absolutely nothing to lose because you get all your money back. You can try it out for 7 days and see if you're better off with it or not. Considering the market today, right? Considering the market today, considering the volatility we have today, it wouldn't hurt to trade with somebody like Nic all day, Monday to Friday, where you can get his direct input on all this stuff. And a lot of you guys might be calling that number. If you're wondering why nobody answers, it's because I'm here talking to you guys. So if you have questions, feel free to take those questions here live. So we could, if you want to, right? Don't wait for to talk, because it could get a little bit late. It's about 7 p.m. here, and I know this thing expires at midnight. So I'm just letting you guys know the technicalities of this. So this is the live trading chat room, right? If you want to be live with Nic, ask questions, get an immediate response, this is where you want to be, right? So all you guys that want to day trade, want to scalp options, want to post a question here in this chat and literally get an immediate response from Nic, a verbal response where he can show you a chart or where he can text back. But for the most part, and you can private message him there as well. So this is where I get in. This is where I got in today in the morning. And when I asked him, hey, Nic, what do you think about, such and such stock? It saved me money. It made me money today. So, big shout out to Nic. And he's been helping me here for since I've been here, like a year and a half. I swear he's always been helping me. And it becomes like even spreads, learning spreads, all that stuff. I was only buying calls and puts before when I started, and I blew up my account twice doing that. And then I decided I had to try something a little bit different. And that's really more or less where I, kind of stumbled with Nic there. And, the help, when I came in, there was no chat room. It was just trade alerts, like email trade alerts. So it was just learning from those little pieces of video that he would put out. And then the chat room came along, and it's just been amazing. Like the results on the chat room that people have, more importantly, on the learning side, because if you're not learning what you're doing on how to make money, you're not doing anything. You're just mirroring someone. And that's the point. That's what we're trying to tell you guys. We have to, Nic focuses on learning a lot because he wants to show you how to do what he's doing. And that way you can, trade along with him. So you guys have a couple of questions. Ricky, Rodrigo, I'll call you later. I've been a part of the trading school and the option school since the beginning, and I'd like to talk to you. Absolutely, brother. I'm here to talk to you guys. I talk to thousands of traders around the world. Seriously, I've talked to maybe 7,000 of you from all corners of this world. And we talk about trading. We talk about, hey, what are your weaknesses? Maybe this could help you this way, because everybody has a different style, right? But I can tell you with Nic, you can get everything there. And the fact that you have so many hours there, like 9 to 5 live, I mean, that's hands down. I'm telling you, that's hands down a pretty sweet thing, right? All right. But appreciate that, Ricky. You've been a real OG. We've been here going hard for you guys. Rodrigo, you're on the East Coast. Yes, on East Coast. Yes, sir. Yeah, James. Yeah, so guys, if anybody does have questions here on the chat room, go ahead and lay them on there. DK, can I use credit cards to make payments? DK, you can call me. I think I already know you, DK. on the YouTube chat. I think I've already talked to you already. So, and we've done some stuff here for you. So just reach out, man. Again, don't get discouraged if I'm not able to talk to everybody today, because I do have a lot of calls that I see coming in. Keep in mind, you can sign up and we can talk tomorrow. Fine. You do have a 7-day money back guarantee. Use it. Use it. Look at the market. Use it. Like, use it if we're giving it to you. In this economy, I swear that no one's going to give you a money back guarantee. So DK, just reach out. Air Trader Forex, reach out as well. I think we covered most of the stuff. All right. So this is the live trading room. What else? This is the blue chat room. And this is where you're going to find everything in these 2 channels. Okay. Inner circle chat, where everybody's talking, including Nick, and the Nick's important messages, where only Nick can post, right? You get exactly what you came here for. Now, if you ask me, I'm pretty busy here. Truth is, oh, by the way, this is where you, this is where you pretty much set the alerts as either on or off, right? So if you see that the bells are not yellow, that means that the alerts are not on. So you click all, they're on. So like I was telling you, personally, me, I only have Nick's alerts there. So whenever Nick is posting something, in his chat room, I do get that bop, So this is where he's posting. By the way, this is the session that he posted on Sunday. So every Sunday, we did not even cover much of this, but every Sunday, Nick does a session for about 2 to 3 hours just with the chat members. Like, if Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 is not enough, right? If that's not enough for you, you still have Sunday, okay, for 2-3 hours with Nick, where you go over hundreds of stocks. You guys give out the stocks. He talks about them. He draws the lines. You can even put a commentary like, hey, man, I have spreads here on the stock. I'm up 18%. What should I do here? What do you recommend? Such and such. Or, hey, man, look, I'm down on the stock. What should I do here? Should I cut it off? Should I try to hedge? Right? So you can put a comment on the stock that you're putting, and he will obviously look at it and respond to you in that. And it's a live session. Keep in mind, it's a live session. It's not pre-recorded. We don't do that kind of stuff here. Okay. Like, everything is live, because that's the best way to really help people. When it's live, direct, hey man, do you get this? No. Okay. This is why. So like, that direct, communication is really what makes learning so great here. The fact that we can bring you that through this technology and these chat rooms and all these sessions, I'm telling you, it's better than pump and dump chat rooms, but better than any of these gurus out there. It's just great that you can have access to Nick so often. I'm glad he's doing it, really. Angela, if you can send me an email, that would be great. We only have annual for this, but maybe, just give me a call, but it's only annual. Or just send me an email. That would be better for all you guys. If you can send out an email, and if you call, please leave a voicemail so I know why you called, right? There's also, so Abdel, send me an email with that, please. All right, guys, send me an email, Abdel. Appreciate it, man. WP Trader, what is this? Washington Post? Oh, WP Trader. Okay. WP Trader, signing up with the chat room was the best thing I ever did. Earned back the subscription money in 2 days. So many smart people in that room. There you go. We got the Washington Post trader here in the YouTube chat going nuts here. All right. This guy made all his money back in 2 days. How about that? This guy literally didn't even finish the 7-day money back guarantee before he made his money back. You think that's weird? It's not. Go ahead and get in the chat room and talk to people. Everybody has different results, obviously, right? Like I could talk to somebody who didn't follow everybody's trade, didn't follow Nick's trades, but made a trade outside the chat room and maybe didn't do well with their account. And guess what? That happens. Okay. There's a lot of things in the market that can distract you. And that's really how it's meant to be. Look at this shiny object, look at that. And that's why we don't do in the chat room, because Nick has a strategy, a plan that you can follow. It's not like you're wandering around seeing what's trending today on StockTwits or none of that, right? We don't want you to bag hold. We want you to be successful. That's really, what you're seeing there. So we have West Point Trader, not Washington Post Trader, but that's fine, dude. I'm glad. I think I've seen you there, man. I think you signed up very like a week. You signed up here with one of the sessions I did here very recently. West Point Trader. Um, and look, he signed up like literally a little while ago in one of these sessions we did. So I'm glad, number one, that you're here in this session, that you're actually following up with Nick, because he is a very smart gentleman. He's helped me a lot. And the fact that, you come here and say, I can tell you, I'm not the only one. But Mike, you're welcome. No worries, man. I saw you signed up, brother. So welcome to the group. So yeah, this is a very important video. This is the Sunday session that Nick does every Sunday. So if you want to attend, that's fine. I think you should attend, to be honest. It's live. Now, if you cannot attend for any reason, Nick is so kind that he's going to post the entire recording there. Let's see how long this thing is for this one. This is a separate video, I think. Oh, that's the weekly strategy video. So every week, I forgot to mention this, he just keeps adding more stuff, like I don't have enough time to follow up with Nick and all the stuff he adds and in these sessions. So there's a weekly strategy video that he does. In this weekly strategy video, basically, he gives you a full rundown of what's going to happen this week, what we've pretty much been covering, in that particular week. So again, if you cannot be in the chat room all day, you have more than enough resources available at your fingertips so that you can use them to stay ahead in this market. It's really volatile, and having access to this information in a live static chat room where you can come in anytime from your phone, from your laptop, your computer, and check it. That's really what works right now. Really, you need to have that immediate access. The market can flip in a second and everything goes nuts. Like, you want to make money either way, whatever happens. Okay. So today is Monday, right? Today's Monday. So let's see where we can find this call from Nick. Oh, wait, I think he was in Vegas, so I don't know if he did do it. I don't know if he did it because of the Vegas thing. Maybe we can find another one from the last Sunday. There we go. When is this from? All right, so this is from May 8th. So May 8th. So just keep in mind, these charts are not, from this last Sunday, because I think he didn't do it because he was in Vegas in the conference with all the members and all that stuff, doing the speeches. So let's go. I mean, maybe we can watch this for a little bit. Do you guys in the chat want to watch this? Let me know. And shout out to West Point Trader, by the way, man. That's pretty good. I'm really happy to hear that you were able to make all your money back in 2 days, man. Like, not even allowing the 7-day money back guarantee to kick in. So that's what I call being a West Point trader, eh? A West Point trader. Good stuff, man. Really glad to see that. Really keep it up, man. Keep up the great work. I'm really happy, man. Mary wants to play it. All right, Mary, just give me a second here. I just got to check something. I just have to check something really quick, and we can go here. We can go here in a bit. Just need to check something. All right. So more importantly, guys, I just wanted to give a quick shout out because we do have like a couple new members there. Really quick. We got Rob in the house. I appreciate you, Rob. You know how it is. I'm going to give you a proper shout out. Don't worry. We have, all right, Rob Nixter. What's going on, brother? I know you. I see you. Let's go. Give it out for Rob. Guys in the chat, I need you to be a little bit more welcoming to the folks here. So just be like, hey, welcome, Rob. So Rob's in the house. Thanks for being part of the group, man. I'll see you there right now. And then we got Shibs. How are we doing, Shibs? We got to give Shibs a warm welcome to. Let's go. Shibs in the house. All right. It's my two new best friends here. So just give me a quick second before we do get everything here rolling. Sean Shibs, hello and thank you. You're welcome, man. Nice to meet you. Anything that you need here, call me, email me. I can direct you anywhere, whatever you need. I want to make sure that this works for everybody here, just like it did for West Point Trader, right? Why can't it work for you? It worked for me. Why can't it work for you? You put in the time, you put in the effort, right? Nobody's trying to sell you like, Lala world or nothing like that here, right? We're trying to be honest with you about everything. You know, you get in the chat room. If you want to learn, you can learn. If you want to trade with Nick, you could trade with Nick. Like you can do this and do whatever you want with it. Sean Ships, cheers. Where are you from, Sean? Let us know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. I don't think we asked that at the beginning. And we got Rob. So Rob, as soon as you guys get in, Rob and Shibs, please do me a big favor, guys. Make sure you can log in and everything. If you cannot log in, send me an email. As you expect, you know, I'm tied up, but I'm going to be checking my emails. Typically, I pull an all-nighter whenever I do these sessions. But you do have access as soon as you sign up. Just know that. Keep that in mind. You do have access as soon as you sign up. Just email me if you have questions. And we can get into this video with Nick right away. Did anybody want to watch the weekly, Mary, did anybody want to watch the weekly watch list thing he did? Or do you want to watch the Sunday video from 2 weeks ago? Because one of them is more recent. You know, that's what I'm saying. So if you want to watch the 15-minute video one, we can watch that one. It's more recent. It's more like it can actually help us with our trading, you know, for those that are here watching and the stuff. Okay, the recent one, I'm down. I'm 100%. That's what I wanted. Perfect. All right, so let's go back down here. And this is from this Sunday, right? 5:15. Absolutely. So let's just read here really quick here. It says, here's the strategic market update for this week. Fed heads talking again, including Powell. I bet they are under orders to tone it down a bit. This is a monthly expiration, which Wall Street believes is sad. Let's see if we can get Monday green as we follow through an incredible Friday. Remember that the bulls are not in charge, so the rallies will try to fail. Few interesting earning reports like Walmart HD low schedule here. So he has a schedule for the earnings there. I'm worried about housing, so HD low, HD and lows could help shed some light. Interesting. All right, we're good to go. All right, Bart is good to go. Shibs, are we good to go? Mr. Schwitz, are we good to go? Rob, all right. Let's get this going here. All right, let me get this going.
So I broke up the video into two. The last one stopped at crowd. I actually did it by mistake, but it doesn't matter. CSX, the bears have it. I would not get long into 30.
Really quick here. Can everybody see the charts? Can everybody see what I'm showing you? Because I'm on full screen and I don't know if this is showing the thing. Okay. All right, I'll believe you. I'll believe what you guys are saying. Mary, all right, let's go. All right, let's put this thing. All right.
Before it's a problem area zone. So I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to say resistance zone. Yeah, that's a lot of sellers up here. I don't know what's going on with these guys, but just be careful chasing it. Let's see what happens. They lost this, and now they're into the hands of the bears. This is on the daily charts, 4-hour, 2-hour chart. So if I go shorter term, maybe I can get some clues. Okay, I do. Sellers at 34. This looks like a bullish bet, but there's sellers all over the place. So if you do catch a bet that gives you, say, 35, I would trim. Now, if you get above 35.50, maybe you get a loose from short-term sellers until you hit something else up there. So tactical longs, that's fine. Make sure don't overstay your welcome in this winning trade. Support below, you lose 32, whatever that number is, 32.4. You're liable to go lower. Dollar General has a tactical opportunity, but it is in the hands of the sellers. This was my estimate potential, and they're almost there. They could get there. A lot of sellers above, so this is a problem. This will make it finish. So the assumption is that the sellers are there. Now you do have a mini trigger at 234 that could get you to 240, but I believe there's a lot of people waiting to sell here. So rallies, I would fade them until the bulls prove that this is it. Yeah, it's doing what we thought it was going to do, so there's no need for me to chase it. House of Mouse, they reported, right? And they rallied straight into a band of something. So politically, they have a problem. I know a couple people, I've said it before, that work for the company. They're on both either sides of the quote fence, and they hate each other now. So how is that going to translate into good performance from the company? It is a good company, it has a good reputation, but it's not the old Disney. They are a streaming company now. Their parks are they're still going to pack the parks. That's my opinion. Everybody wants to go to Disney, but what's going on with the political aspect of it? So be careful. It is a trading thing, and it's in the hands of the sellers. I don't need to tell you that. Look at it. So let's zoom out. Let's zoom out to a weekly chart and see what the hell's going on. They got all the lines. Okay. So this is the pandemic low. It's inside the pandemic low. So assume there are buyers at 100 and assume there are sellers at 130. That's all there is to it. And see if you can trade the inside. Actually, the sellers are 120 and 130. There's no reason for me to get engaged with it. If it's rallying, the market is rallying, and why would I want to deal with it? Dish. What is happening with Dish? Yeah, no clue. This is 2008 levels. Yeah, not for me on the weekly. I'm trying to come up with something positive to say. I can't. If you're stuck owning the shares, maybe we can talk about it, reach out. Otherwise, I would avoid it. I mean, this was a rally. It looked like it's the end of things, and then boom. What would happen if they lose this? That's 2008 levels. Yeah. Not for me, definitely. Not for me. I would definitely check into DraftKings, for example, also in the hands of the sellers, but at least it's got some new stuff coming on, a relatively new company. The problem with DraftKings is they spend a lot. They spend a lot, and I don't think they make their own cash. Yeah, well, they don't burn as much as they spend, but they spend every penny they have and then some. That's pretty scary. However, it's a pretty exciting business, so I would rather risk money on this one than the other one. But this is not a bottom. Is this a SPAC? If it is, it went to $10. Great. You tag a 10, maybe you get to 9 or 8. So if I'm long, I'd stay in it. If I'm looking to get long, I'll buy the dips. I have to know that there are sellers through 15. Now, if DraftKings gets above 16, it has room to go to 19. So if you afford.
Hey guys, really quick, I do want to let you guys know this is a 30-minute video. I thought it was a 10-minute video. So I don't know if I'm allowed to show you all that, but like, hey man, let's just go ahead with it. We're gonna go watch the whole thing for the 30 minutes if you guys don't mind. But yeah, just to kind of set your mind, this is not gonna be a 10-minute video. It's like 30 minutes or something like that. So all right, cool stuff. All right, let's get it going.
Force me, I would find longs somehow. Sell a put spread, buy a debit call spread, sell a put spread to buy a call spread, sell a put to buy a call, any of the combination, or buy shares, but not all in. Leave room for error. And they just rallied, maybe they fade. So it is tradable. So the next one is ES. I don't know if you meant ES, the energy source. I'm going to assume yes, because if you're talking about the other one, we'll talk live on Monday when the market opens. So ES on a 2-hour chart, you must hold 87.5, 87.6. Otherwise, you risk testing 85.5. If you lose 85.5, you're going to the low 80s, even though you have a lot of support here. And you have major failures up here. So let me see, do I have lines? I don't. I can give you lines, and let's go with that. Problem, whoops. You have a problem area up here, and you need to break out from it. So don't anticipate the breakout, in my opinion. I would wait until it happens and then chase it. And you have support down here, and if you want to buy the dip here, I would do buy the dip stop. So if I buy the dip into this and then it goes below that, I would stop out and retry later. That's how I would deal with that guy. Next one is Facebook. I don't need to see a chart. If I'm in it to win it, I would try to get long for the long term. Premier company, market is beaten down. It's a bet on the market. If it dips into this place right here, I would get long. We already did that once. I would repeat it again. I may have shared it last week. I can't remember. But if I'm not long, I would want to engage long for the long term. that means I can buy some shares, I can buy some in the money calls out in time, I can sell some put spreads or sold puts to buy shares, or sold put spreads to buy call spreads, any combination. But whatever I do, I should not go all in, because we don't know what we don't know, and the bears are in charge for now. It is a good long-term company. The metaverse is coming. Google just verified it by bringing in those augmented reality glasses back. I'm glad they did that. So this company is the one to take us into the metaverse, and it's happening whether you hate it or not. Old folks like me, it's happening. Get to know it. Next is Fox A. To be honest, folks, whoa, looks just like Facebook. So short term, let's zoom out. I lost track as to who owns what and doing what with Fox A, Discovery, WBA, whatever those are. I don't know. Do your homework. This is support from the January 2021. Don't assume it's a bottom. There's a lot of resistance, sellers above. So, excuse me, a whole bunch of sellers up here. Don't know where, but this is our resistance. So, and you do have support, but if you lose this, you're coming down to here. This is not, is this the pandemic? Weird. They went to the pandemic, they rallied to high heaven, they went, wait, is this a Reddit company? Okay, yeah. So don't short it into the resistance. Just trade the action. Or if you know the company, you want to invest in it, great. I mean, it looks like it makes money. Just study it. Technically, the sellers have the advantage right now, and there are sellers above. The best news is if you can take out 34.50. So you're stuck for now. GE, the easy work is done for the recovery. Now it's back to being crap stock. Why? Because this is not $75. Remember their reverse split? So this is like, I don't know, I don't remember, $7 now again, or $8. So it's not, ooh, $75. No, they reverse split. Don't know why they did that. If you lose 71, you're coming down in the 60s. And you have a lot of resistance above. So you're stuck in the box. You better not lose the bottom. I'll put a line there just to remind me that I said that. And trade it or own it for the long term. So, okay, they fixed their company. Now they're in 4 different segments. But where are the results? So, onus on the management to show us that. Alphabet, Google, this is Google. What did I say? Relatively strong on a crap day. That other day, if markets were to stabilize, could get to 23.12 or 23.25. Look at that. They went to 23.60. So that played out. Now what? Now they need to hold. Maybe they revisit this gap. So if it falls back into the gap, 22.60, I would consider doing a credit put spread into the gap fill. So assuming that, okay, the I typed up gibberish, don't worry about it, these notes are for me, and or breakout from here. But the problem is you have this massive peak, so trade it, don't fall in love with it, and book profits fast if it's actual trade, not an investment. Can't argue against investing in Google because it's a premier company, but it will follow markets. So I have support below, I have resistance and opportunity above. All right, Gush. What is this? Oil and gas exploration. Oh, my favorite subject. Okay, so you're stuck in a range on a daily chart. You have resistance above on some pretty good rhetoric. So what new is going to come out to make people love it more than they loved it in the last couple of months? That's the problem mentally. So I think I would be a seller of rallies into 175. And if you want to trade it and assume that the support will hold, you've got these tails to support you. If these are lost, it comes down to 120. So the way I would say it is sellers up here, sellers lurking. So be careful chasing up there, and that's where I have book profits. And I'll give you a support line. I can't put a line. If I wanted to, I'll put it right here, but no. I'll say this is the fair statement. I don't want to influence people to start shorting this stuff. Support zone. That's the fair.
Hey guys, Yo, we're not finished yet. Don't worry. Don't freak out. We're not finished yet. But I just have to I have to have, proper etiquette here. I need to give a shout out here to one of our most newest family members. You know how it is. Let me find the thing here, right? And big shout out here, the Regi Hip. I think that's James Hip. I don't know if that's James Hip, but Dr. Jim Hip, right? I think so. Dr. Jim Hip, shout out, welcome. Let's go. Let's go, Mr. Jim. All right, we got Dr. Jim in the house. Good stuff, Mr. Jim. Please make sure once you do get into the live chat that you check the most recent videos. I know I'm showing you the stuff right now, but there's a lot more stuff that I really think is important, right, to go over. And especially just read everything that Nick has posted there. So just wanted to give a good shout out there. Bart, I love the energy. Welcome. That's great. You see, and that's how it is in the chat room. Like this is a sneak peek, but like once you're in there, pop in there and say, "Hey guys, I'm new. I'm new, guys. Welcome." Or trust me, people are super friendly. It's a great environment to learn. It's a great environment to trade, and more importantly, right, the community, right? You can actually build some good relationships there because these are people, real human beings, traders. It's a 99% chance that I've talked to them on the phone. And I can tell you it's not fake accounts or bots or anything like that, like on Reddit or any of these places, right? So just wanted to give there Dr. Jim there a warm welcome. Let's go ahead and get back here with the session here, all right? Good stuff there.
Statement. If you do lose that one, you will get here better support. That's what I'll do. That's the best statement. So hubs, I believe this I drew this on Thursday, I think, or Wednesday before I left for Vegas, and it's doing what I thought it would do. It can rally to 500, 425 first stop where there's a lot of sellers, or 500. So if I'm long, I'll stay long with hubs. It's a big ticket stock, so stop out below 295. What does Illinois Toolworks do other than make tools? I have no idea what they do. So technically you have sellers. This is not good. So into $213, I'd be thinking get out, get out. If you take that out by some miracle, maybe you get to here. The bears are in charge on the daily. You have rally, sold, rally, sold, rally, sold, rally is selling. What's this going to do? You take out 213, you get to here. So this is an opportunity. I don't want to deny you that. This is a breakout opportunity. Wait. Breakout opportunity. And you also have immediately resistance right here. So it's fair enough to say there's going to be resistance and some support below. So it is support until lost, and also some support right here. Complete picture. So now you have enough to trade it. Or invest in it. Not sure if they pay dividend or anything like that. Yeah, they pay a little bit. Nothing exciting. Are you guys out to stump me? What is this? What is Joby? Joby Aviation. Joby Aviation had a good day on Friday. So you do have sellers at 5.7, and if you can beat those sellers, you can get to 7. If you can beat those sellers, you can get to 9. But those are two big ifs. So manage your wins. Manage your wins. This might be a micro cap, definitely. So if you lose this, get out. I don't think this will hold. Again, stumping. Nick, Lind. I don't know what this is. Lind. Chocolate company? That's all I know. It did what I thought it would do from whenever you asked. Now they're trying to get back into the same neckline. So they should have resistance here and here and here. You take each one will become a little catalyst. You take this one, that's a big catalyst. I'd be shocked if they do it though. The bears are in charge. Rally sold, rally sold, rally. Now what? So don't be too cocky with the rallies. Treat it tactically if that's what you're doing, trading it. If you're investing in it, you need to do homework. Lowe's, I know that company. So I'm afraid for Lowe's and Home Depot if Bernanke, if Powell does what he wants to do. Rallies into 205, I would sell them until they break out from 210. That's the fairest statement. Good company, good P&L, good business, bad environment. Powell is going out to destroy lending. These guys, I think, live off of lending. If you buy a new house, if you want to build a house, if you want to rent over a house, if you want to dress up a house to sell it, that's probably where all their money comes from. You buy tools for that, etc. So be careful. Rallies into whatever I said, 205, I would sell. I could do a credit put spread, but I wouldn't be too brave about it. If they lose this, don't be shocked to see it at 150. It was there summer of 2021. It's nowhere near the pandemic, I don't think. Yep, nowhere near. The pandemic low is in the 120. So don't be shocked. Look at it. They're going to do this probably until they get down here. So very tactical, longer term, in my opinion. There, deceiving. Mickey D's. Now I'm hungry. Okay. That was my stomach. Too much information, Nick. So let's see. Pivot point from a while back. They fought over it, won. They fought over it, lost. They fought over it, lost. So I would assume rallies into 252 are going to be won by the sellers. Maybe they bleed it down to 236. Is this pandemic? No. Yeah. The sellers are in charge. You see it here more clearly. And this can repeat. I'm going to move this over to here. Meanwhile, the sellers are winning. This is a pivot that has been important. So we'll extend it. So I will call it resistance. And resistance above that. So trigger, yes, but I don't think it's likely. More likely that they bleed a little bit lower to establish a better base down here. Not an obvious entry point. That's my statement. Hey, I was there yesterday. One of their hotels, I believe they own the Aria. Okay, so rallies into 39 will be an absolute reason to get out. They lost a big neckline, I can see it. They need a miracle to get back above it. They are in support. They did what I thought they would do. See this? I said their support here, that's what they are. They bounced. Now they have to deal with the resistance. Yes, this was resistance. Guess what? It repeats itself here a lot stronger. And guess what? There's some over here too. So they're going to swim upstream. If they lose this one, they continue lower. So I'm going to take a picture of that and zoom out to a daily and see what it looks like below that. Okay, pandemic, broken down, back to the pandemic, coming back into it. Okay, so maybe I would love it around 28. It is tradable, but not all in. All right, the next one, I'll be honest, I have lines, I don't know what the heck those are, so we'll take them out. I don't know what this is, Monday.com. It's a broken stock. You're going to have to do some homework to see if it's a broken company or not. I don't think the stocks, the chart is going to help you much. I can tell you have sellers into 120 from the chart, but I doubt it's just a chart story. You should look into it. Marathon, I know what that is. It's Marathon Petroleum. Just like any ever, my answer to every other oil company, investors should avoid, traders can do their thing. Investors should avoid, traders can do their thing. This one, I think it will end up being at 70. So be careful with that. I don't know how I'm going to draw this so that I don't discourage people. So how about I say this? It's in a breakout with dip opportunities. All right, what comes next is also something like it, an oil company. In this one, I actually drew lines. Same thing, you have sellers lurking above, but it's in a breakout, the whole industry is. It could do this. So we have a gap here and a gap here. Which one fills first? It's a trading stock, just like all the oil company. Look, my answer to every oil company: investors, I would avoid. Traders, welcome. Now, tech is in trouble because of supply chain, manufacturing, blah, blah, blah. AMD is the technical representation of it, and NVIDIA, I believe, lost its neckline as well. So they're technically challenged, but they also have challenges in the throughput of supply and demand. Like, they need parts and they can't get them. So technically, this guy, if they take 74 out, they might be able to take 76 out. So I would not short it. It traced back a couple of targets from this green thing you see here. Not to get wonky what it is. So the easy work has been done. That's my statement. So I'm trying to zoom out to a picture that shows us what can happen if they fade that easy work. So this didn't happen. This can happen here. So this is resistance. I'm just going to steal it from here and put it. Interesting. So I'm hesitant to put it here because of this candle. And I'm hesitant to put it here because of that whole thing. So I'm just going to delete that. And know that the resistance is a catalyst if it's taken out. I don't want people to chase it because it has so much resistance above. And it's so much easier to do this, especially this week, if the markets have a little tizzy. So my statement would be, it has a lot of resistance. Good week, but it has a lot of resistance, and the bulls will have to work hard to hold the floor. Talk about resistance. This is the one that got shellacked, Netflix. So if I go out to a weekly chart, you can't even see the support, and it's back to 2018, right? So I can take that out. Nope, I'll leave that for visual purposes because we nailed it. So now what? Let's strategize from up here. Okay, so it has resistance, but it's so old that it really doesn't matter. So it's going to have support, I meant. So the support is going to have to come from the market-wide action. Or say, okay, a breach above the recent low is going to bring more sellers. It has sellers here, it has sellers here, and sellers here, here, and here, and here. Get the point? Get the point? It needs a headline, it needs a miracle, it needs the management to say, hey, maybe we spooked you too badly. We didn't mean it. We're not going back to DVDs. That's what they need to say. Something along those lines. However, God help them if they bring another shrinking, if they bring another shrinking number in the next earnings report. So I would not, I repeat, I would not want to be long into the next earnings report. I don't know what's going on here. All I'm going to say is resistance. This gap, not going to be easy. NIO, good EV company, bad environment in China, a lot of sellers in the 15-16 area, but this is a stock that can just slice right through, no problems. But know that there are sellers. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna borrow this. Nope, Nick, what's going on? Grab it, bring it down here. Okay, so somewhere in here, there's going to be sellers. Somewhere up here, there's going to be sellers.
Hey folks, really quick here. I'm getting a lot of emails that maybe somebody might have, like if you guys have issues at the checkout, don't worry, you could just email, that's fine. We're still going to we're going to finish here playing this session. But for those that just joined, I'm showing you a video from Nic Chahine that he does for his members. This is a weekly video that he does where he pretty much shares, talks about ideas that you guys have. So if you put a ticker in, he'll go over them. He will give you an update on it throughout the entire chat room. But it's pretty much Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I'm sure you guys already know that. And if you do join, you get a free laptop. It's until midnight. It's about to be like 9 p.m. or something like that here where I'm at. So go ahead and make sure that if you do want to watch the rewind and everything, we'll put a little leverage, especially if you are in the Cali time. It's self-adjusted for that. No worries. But yeah, folks, any questions, send an email. And let's go ahead and finish this video before we go ahead and wrap up this thing here for you today, guys.
If you take this out, okay, maybe it'll be a breakout zone, but please don't chase it but buy calls just because of that. They don't always come to fruition, whatever that was. What is this there? Avoid gap from 2020. Okay, so it has support. I don't think this is lost, but if it is lost, then you drift lower and then I will pounce. So these guys, they're up and gum. They sell like 60, 70,000 cars a year. They have a different model. So they're a big player, but they're not the cheapest, that's for sure. It's a trading stock. Between this and Alibaba, I probably want the security of Alibaba. NRG company. Okay. Not a good long for me into prior fails. So even if it gets to 44, I think there'll be sellers there. So be careful. Tactical long, okay, but I don't know if I would invest in it. Next is a small company. You may have heard of it. It's called NVIDIA. So just like AMD, it lost the neckline, and it's a huge downside target that could bring it down to here. I know it doesn't seem possible, but what happens if it rallies and fails up here? It's going to bleed. This is a pretty good solid floor. I could get long against it, but I would get out below it because I probably will be able to get back in at 130. So if you force me to be long the stock, I would sell a put down here way out in time and not look at it again. And then maybe I own the shares later. That would be my style. Not everybody can do that or wants to do that. Meanwhile, I have to assume the sellers are there. Assume the sellers are there. If the markets rally, this will recover. Resistance, everything. See, exit. I said exit, try again, lower. Look at that. All right, so they're struggling to get back into the important zone. So I don't know if I hit pause or not. I'm going to repeat what I just said. Because I hit the pause button and it continued recording, so I don't know if I was paused. Okay, so I'll see it again. The sellers are in charge. The bulls need to get back into the zone that was important so they can take this out, this line. Otherwise, they're going much lower. I don't know what this NVO is. Oh, no Nordisk. Right in the middle of the range, there's absolutely nothing from the technicals except to say there is support into 100 and resistance into 114. So this one is range bound, support and below. Okie dokie. If you lose 61 and change, you get back down to here. You have a lot of sellers, so you have a range to hold, and you chase the breakouts. If you can take this out, maybe you get to here, but it looks labored. If you lose this, you get to here, and it looks easier. So do your homework. Next is my favorite stock of all time, Oxy. If you know me, you're laughing. If not, you're going, what? That's his favorite stock? No, it's not. I am short Oxy, but I was long Oxy last week. So I own a put out in time, and I sold a put for last week. So I think, you know, this is not an all-time high. So if you take this out, it's in a breakout. So you don't want to, actually I put that here. So it's in a breakout. The bulls are winning, but I think it's not an investment. But hey, who am I to argue with Jeremy Buffett? Because he's the king of investment. But I just find it hard to believe that now the world looks so much better for these oil companies. So I didn't risk much, and I'm still flattish on it given what I've been selling against it. So I'm willing to stay in it. But the bulls are in charge. Dips are being bought. Don't fight the tape like I am.
Okay, guys, I'm really sorry about that, but the video unfortunately has ended. That was 30 minutes. That was the weekly strategy video from Nic Chahine that he does for all of his Inner Circle chat members. I want to give a quick shout out here to Milton. Welcome to the Options Inner Circle chat room. Let's go, Milton. All right, guys. You know, we've been here for like 4 hours. I don't even know. But I can tell you it's been worth it. We have a great time when we do these things. We all learn, we come together as a community, and, you know, because a lot of our members do come here, they show the love. We got WP Trader in the house sharing whatever, you know, what happened with him. And I'm really happy for WP Trader. I'll see you in the chat room tomorrow, man. Like I did today, by the way. I was there for like 15 minutes, just 10 minutes, really quick, asking Nick about a stock. But yes, guys, if you do want to join, there's a 7-day money back guarantee. No reason why you should not try it, especially in this market that is just totally insane. Because it can give you a very good insight, right? WP Trader is on his second day, made the whole thing back, and he still had time for the 7-day money back guarantee. So I suggest you take it. I suggest you give it a shot. Right? It's literally risk free if you look at it like that. If it doesn't work out, you get all your money back. That's it. We move on and that's it, right? Pretty much. So if it works for you, you stay, you join, be part of the community, participate, engage, and make sure you're there because we're going hard for you guys every day. Nick is not taking off days or nothing like that. To be honest, like I see him there all the time in the chat room. So guys, I left the contact, guys and girls, I left the contact in the chat. If you have questions, reach out. Thank you for being here. Big shout out to all you guys. Sean Shibs, Mr. Mary, what's up? Mary, shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Bart, Mary. Let's see, we had a great session today. Mike Smits, Dr. Jim as well, right? All you folks that joined today, really happy that you're part of the community. I can tell you from day one when this started to what it is today and seeing how it's helping traders around the world, I could not be more proud of being part of this. So any questions, reach out, email, have a great day, stay safe. Again, don't be trading around meme stocks or nothing. Have a strategy, trade with a strategy and stick to it. All right. But more importantly, find a community. Don't do this by yourself. Don't try to figure this out. Don't try to wing it out like that during these times. Find a group that you can rely on, that you can be there, where you can ask a question, right? Literally Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 and Sundays. I think that should be good enough for your schedule. Sean, Mary, I'll see you guys. Have a great week. Happy trading, and we'll see you guys in the chat room tomorrow.